I don't know what happened there.
You want to try that again?
It says we're live.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So anything new? Anybody get any new fish or anything?
No new fish for me yet.
No. I just
No,
got
me
the
either.
longfin albinos from Danica.
When I was with you the other day, Jeff, I came home with those 11 auto sinkless.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
11?
11 of them, yeah. I was going to clean out their tank, and I looked at the time, and I was running late for Jeff's live stream. So I said, just stop, get me out of here. So I was going to go back and get the rest, and never did. Figured 11's good. I'll spread them around my tanks.
How many tanks you got, Ron?
I've got 19 running right now.
19.
Yeah.
It's a nice amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a few more on it than I've got.
Yeah. How many do you have?
I have 16.
Wow. Yeah. I've been watching a Mexicali fish keeper redoing his garage, and he gave me an idea. I know where I can stick another rack and probably maybe another dozen 20 gallons, in endwise. So
Hey, Tommy, welcome in.
I was kind of disappointed with Jorge. I was waiting for him to set up that 300 gallon.
Yeah, he found a home for it.
Yep. That's a big tank to try and deal with. I know I had that 310 acrylic.
Wow. That's what his was, acrylic.
Was that an 8-foot tank or?
Mine was a 10-foot tank.
10 foot. Ooh, even better. That's what I like. Something big like that. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, but I've been building the stand for. My brother bought another tank, and I've been trying to get a stand built for it. We're building a stand and canopy, the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he bought that cube.
And yeah, that's been interesting. Well, we got another guy coming up.
Who's that guy?
Oh, hey, who's there? There's Jimmy.
Who's that stranger?
Yeah, what's up?
What you do, Jimmy?
Mike, I never know when the heck. I'm doing great. I never know when your show's coming on.
You're not getting the notification?
I was watching a movie.
At least you weren't mowing the yard.
No, I haven't done that in a long time. Want to say hi to Ron. Nice to see you, Ron.
Thank you, Jimmy. You too.
Hey, Jimmy.
Jeff, Curtis. It's the same old guys. The same old crazy bunch.
Pretty much. We might have another crazy one joining us here before long, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. And hey, if I have any problems, it's because Curtis knows all about it.
Uh-oh.
I had to switch internet services because my previous one let me go 16 days without it, and they still hadn't come out to fix it. So in the meantime, we switched services, and 2 days later they showed up, and I said, "See you later."
Wow.
Yep.
So this one's not going to be quite as good. It is cheaper, more affordable for me, which is good. But if I have any problems, it's probably because it's not quite as strong as my old service was. But hey, I got service, right?
There you go.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
actually,
and they are gonna.
I think you actually got better connection, Jimmy. You're clear.
I think it's because I took a bath.
That could be. And you wiped off your lens. That would be me.
You got black ink?
And
Yeah.
What's
Wow.
that?
I just noticed in the chat there, June says one of you have black angels. I know it.
I
Not me.
do.
I have two black angels, but they're adults, and I'm not getting rid of them.
Oh, wow.
Me either.
And I don't think it's a pair. I'm not sure, but I don't think it is.
Mine
They
are a
don't
little
act
young
like
yet.
Where did you get them from?
Mine?
Yeah.
I got mine from the local fish store.
Oh.
He ordered them in.
Where'd you get yours from, Jimmy?
Jeff, I was trying to think.
Oh,
It's that family business that used to be associated with Corey at Aquarium Co-op. They're out here on the
Aquahuna.
West Coast.
Aquahuna.
Aquahuna. That's where I got them. Yep.
That's where I got my crebensis from, the albinos I got. Aquahuna.
Yeah, I like that guy, and it's been quite a while. I haven't bought any new fish forever, so I don't have any new things to tell you guys about.
Yeah, the only new ones
I
I got them black chin live bears.
How do you like those?
Right.
Well, so far so good. They're in quarantine right now. I got 10. I lost 5, so I have 5 left. We'll see how they do at the end of the, when their 30 days is up.
Yeah.
30 days in the hole.
Yep. And if I got to trade them,
But
the clock starts all over again.
Ah.
Yeah. But I will say, I tell Curtis this all the time. What I have now, it's kind of like just the right amount of tanks to take care of, and everything's doing great. So I got no complaints. I haven't had any losses or any. It's just right where I'm at.
We got another guy joining us.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
No. Where the heck has this guy been?
All right.
Trouble is here.
James, nice to see you, brother.
Good to see you, Jimmy.
My God. This is a real treat. Thank you for showing up.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, I'd have anybody but Mike. I don't, hey. You look good, buddy. You look like you put on a little weight there, Parker.
I've definitely put on a little bit. We're hiding the rest of it, just showing a little bit.
Huh? But you look good. You look healthy,
Well, I appreciate it. It's,
And it's
Hey, glad you could join us, James.
well, I appreciate you asking me.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I don't think I've ever met you yet, James.
I don't know that.
Oh
we
my
have
God.
enough. You too as well.
James.
Well, with my memory, I tell you what, that could be, that might not mean a whole lot.
James kind of been on a hiatus for a little while.
I have.
Yeah. James and Ed
But
used to
good.
keep up almost every Saturday night,
Yep.
pretty much.
I never missed your show, brother. I always watch that.
I know it, and I appreciate it. And it's been rough not being able to put it on, but now that we've got the internet to be able to do it, we're coming back. Even without fish,
Awesome.
we're still coming back.
Very good. Very good.
See, Jimmy, you just never know.
I know.
I got James up here. I've had Rocco up.
Well, you know what?
James now.
There's about 25 other people that would love to have James come on, and you got him. How about that?
Yep.
We did.
When he come up the other day on made a video the other day, I messaged him not long after that asking if he'd be interested in coming up. Kind of get him back familiar, with streaming.
How's everything going with you and the family and the homestead? How you doing?
Well, it's been interesting. Lots of trials and tribulations, but we're making it. We're managing. Things are definitely not as we had hoped they would be. A year and a half, 2 years ago when we got this property and moved out here. But life goes on and we're carrying on.
Okay.
I talked some about it in a stream I did yesterday because I started saying hi again in the live chat and things versus just lurking. And so, of course, the typical questions: where have you been? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you even have tanks and all that stuff? So I kind of did a stream to cover some of that.
Okay.
But, the short story is I don't actually have any fish currently. We lost everything, and we lost most of the tanks, unfortunately. So we're just building over.
Yeah, I seen that big tank of yours. Oof.
Yeah. So
That's a hard loss.
And that was a lot of money invested in that for it to not work out. We're going to see if we can recoup it. And of course, there's always, like with that 220 gallon, where the bottom's blown out of it, I'm going to take the tank apart, and we'll use those other glass panels for plywood builds down the road. So.
Well, so you could always put a plywood bottom in that one, James.
Yeah, I've thought about it, and I have a kind of an idea that I want to try on all those. I guess they're 80 gallons, something like that. It's the 4-foot tanks that you see in a lot of the like mom and pop fish stores that stack 3 tanks high, and they're usually divided in thirds.
Yeah.
So I've got 17 or 18 of those that I bought that almost all the bottoms blew out of. But I think I've got a plan devised, since they're structurally sound enough to hold the weight of the tanks on top of them, to be able to fix those and make them work. So we'll see.
Okay.
Well, it's just
Is there-
good to see you back.
Well, I'm glad
Have you
to be
been in-
back.
Have you been in touch with Ed lately?
I've talked to him here and there. He, as a busy guy, as you all know, he's always got stuff going on. So 9 times out of 10.
Yes, I know.
Well, hey, good to talk to you. I got to go. I got to get on this stream, or I've got to do this, or I've got to do that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay. Well, it is really great to see you, James. It really is.
Yes.
I appreciate that. It's great to see you all.
Yep.
I'm definitely,
It's not the same without Fish Room Beaver Show coming on.
well, I appreciate it. I've not decided or figured out, however you want to put it, exactly when I'll be going. Where part of me wants to go and look and go, well, where's the time slot that's available? And then the other part of me is like, well, there probably isn't a time slot that's quote unquote available that I'm not going to make somebody mad, that actually works with my life and my schedule. Sounds like I was talking to.
I wouldn't worry about it. Happens all the time.
I wouldn't worry about it, James. Just go when you got time to go.
Yeah,
You're going to be going over somebody anyway.
Yeah, I don't know Ron's opinion about things, because I don't know Ron that well, but I know Mike and Jeff and Curtis. All of us just say, jump back in the water, buddy.
Yep.
Right, and that's more than fair, because that's always been when people that ask me advice. Like, well, you got to do what you've got to do when you've got to do it, and competition just makes things better, in my opinion. If you got 2 people vying for the same audience, then one of them's going to have to step their game up and put on a better show than the other if they want the people. So.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Jimmy
and James, you were such a fixture on you were such a fixture on the schedule to begin with. I don't think anybody would mind you jumping back in.
Yeah. Well, and I appreciate that.
Anywhere you want. Anywhere you want, buddy.
Somebody's bound to get mad.
I got your back.
We'll see what it is, I guess. So.
I know where everybody lives, James. I got your back.
And I appreciate it. I really do. It's been nothing but support. And not that I didn't know everybody was supportive already, but it has meant a lot in actually coming back to have all that support.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you guys. So, yeah.
Hey, I got somebody else backstage. One of you mind stepping down?
I got to go let my dog.
I'll go down for a minute. I'll go down.
Oh, I can't.
Okay, Jimmy.
You stay there,
Hang on a
Jimmy. You
minute.
don't come around very much. Take me down. Can I? Let me see. How do I do this?
No, I want to take a break anyway. I got to go get something. Oh, God. Now I got to stay. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got to step down. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it was nice seeing you, James. I got to go.
Hey, is that what happens? It's like they'll show up. Oh, man, gotta go. Boys. See you later, buddy.
How are you, Funker?
I'm doing all right. I can't. Well, yeah, I can't complain. I'm mad as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Well, what else is new?
Freaking female betas, man. Bunch of hussies. Tramps is what they are. They keep jumping out of the damn tank trying to get to males.
That's why you put a top on.
I have a top on and she disappeared. I swear to you, I lie to you not. Like I looked all over. I was like, where is she? This is the third female beta I've had in my life to jump out of a tank because she's trying to get to the dude.
Or maybe she just wants out of that water.
No,
Maybe.
that's the thing. I had her separated, like they were away from visible in a aquarium without a top. No problem. She was there for a week. I put her in an aquarium next to a male with a top. She disappears. I don't know what it is. Every time I put a female next to a male, they just keep jumping, trying to get at them. They got serious libidos.
Have you tried that old beta trick of sliding a piece of paper in between the tanks so they don't see each other?
Well, that's the thing. I wanted them to see each other. I just don't want her to jump out of it. But this had a lid to it, though. It had a lid. It's got a lid. It's right here. Lid. Tick, 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 tick. And I don't know where she's at. She's gone. Like a fart in the wind. She's gone. But a long time ago, I tried to do a beta breeding competition with Riley from Fish Keeping Jamaica and Rob 93. And I had two female betas jump out of the tank, and they kept going into the male's tank. Like I had the male in the middle, and I had the divider, and the females kept they were like really trying, like they would go through little cracks. It was always the females trying to get to the males. But I've never had a problem with male betas jumping out, only females. And I put a lid, but still, nada. No fish. Now I gotta get another one.
Sure she just hiding from you.
Dude, if she's hiding, she's good because it ain't nothing but like a 3-gallon cube. It's just ridiculous. No, she's gone. She's good. I think she jumped out while I had the lid off and I was moving stuff around. She might have popped out. That's the only thing I can think. But I can't see her anywhere. I can't find her. But, behind the tanks is always a mess.
I'm out of here.
Who's out of here?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm out of
So
here.
behind the tanks is always a mess of wires and stuff that just falls. I don't know. I can't get back there. She's gone. I
Just
get
drain
another
tank, pull it out.
I ain't doing all that. That's not happening. That's too much stuff, man. She dead now, so ain't no real different, it was gone.
Right. So you got any projects going on in your fish room, Ron?
Yeah, let's see. No. Not. Yeah, all kinds of stuff up here. I got to run it by my wife before I pull anything off because she's going to have a cow. She's been really patient with me, and really lenient with what I've been doing in the garage. But I've got this L-shaped workbench, and I was going to cut the short side of the L off and run a rack straight up. So I was talking about Jorge Mexicali Fish Keeper gave me the idea. Watching.
Don't listen to nothing that man say.
He's a guy. Yeah.
He's a liar. He's a stone cold liar from across the border. Don't listen to nothing Mexicali has to say.
Because
You had him up the other day.
Arizona, right? So he was just across the border from me.
Yeah.
Now he's a good guy.
I didn't want him in. He snuck in through the back.
He
I
was
turned
up
on my
here.
live stream.
Well,
Huh?
week 4 last, he come up here on week 4 last. We had him on.
Yeah.
Did he sneak in? Did he sneak in?
No, nope.
He snuck in my life.
We let him in. We let him in.
You let him in. Now Mexican is a cool cat. He's cool.
Yeah. So James,
Yeah.
you're basically just kind of starting over, aren't you?
I am. And I guess there's some fun to be had in that, to building a fish room from scratch and actually getting to document it this time versus, coming into YouTube having already had all of, or not all of, but a lot of things set up to begin with. I've been talking to various people and getting ideas and thoughts, and so it'll be interesting. But I am looking forward to it.
Are you gonna change your fish? What's the word I'm looking for? Fish species that you normally keep now that you're restarting. Are you gonna try? Be like, okay, I got a clean slate. This is everything I did before. Going forward, I think I've always wanted to go in that direction, but I already had all this stuff going on. Are you gonna do anything different?
You lost your piranha too, didn't you?
I did. I lost everything. There's 0 fish. I've got, I think, 5 cherry shrimps, and they're all males, so it ain't expanding from there. But yes and no fun. And to clarify that, I'm going to keep some different fish. And it's not necessarily fish that I wouldn't have kept before, but how do I say this? In the politest way possible. I don't really care what people
say it, James.
eat so much, as it's going to be, I want to keep this fish, so I'm going to keep this fish. Not that I enjoy the fish that I kept before, but there's things like, I would have liked to have had some other piranhas, and a lot of people know piranhas, and one of them in particular is like not a super show-worthy type thing, I guess, unless you're doing all the, we're going to feed it a mouse and we're going to feed it this crap. But there's some things that from a YouTube perspective that I maybe wouldn't have kept before that I may have now. I'm definitely going to be downsizing versus like it's always been, how much can I cram into this space?
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be more about, let me just get, 15, 20
Then you've got guys like Curtis who have secret rooms with secret tanks in there,
Right. So one of the changes you'll see is like right now, you can't see it behind me there, but all of those are on end, more. We need more, fit more in there, turn them sideways. I won't be doing probably any of that. If I do, it'll just be for a little section of quarantine tanks.
Yeah. I love it.
It's going to be more me being able to enjoy what I have and spend more time with a dozen tanks, 15 tanks.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Yeah, because I have the personality that I go all in, so it's like, give me more. I want to keep all the things. But part of wanting to keep all the things as well, I want to be able to show other people all the things. It's like, man, I think that if people see me and I've got, 15 aquariums that I'm spending quality time with.
Well, that's like me. I went from almost 200 tanks and, down to 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I love that. Cause like I was actually thinking, I went to my storage shed today to get some stuff, and there's certain tanks that I've kept over the years and certain tanks that I just don't care. Like I literally threw them in the garbage, threw them right in the trash. And I noticed that I've kept all the oddball tanks, except for the 75, and when I move out of here, which is going to be in about 6 months, whether I rent again or buy, we're still, but anyway, my fish room is going to be not set up like you said, James. It ain't going to be about like, let's see how we're going to put a tank in every little, we're going to mathematically Jenga this sucker to get as many tanks as possible. No, it's going to be like, I really like this setup, right? There's only you know, but they're all level. Nothing's below my knees. I can get to it. I can do water changes. They're all the same. So it takes me choop, 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 choop. I've kept I got a 75, a 56 bow front, a 20 extra high, a 20 long. So there's not going to be no 10 gallons, no 55s. The only common one is going to be the 75. And then I got a 280. So it's going to be all, you ain't going to see too many walls of 10 gallons turned sideways because it's just, you know, it's like, now I'm just getting fish for the sake of getting fish in there, you know? Yeah. And like James said, a lot of it is like, oh, this would be a cool fish to showcase on YouTube. And then it's like, okay, I did a video on it. Now, I never really wanted this fish to be. I just want to do a video. I could have done a video at the store and accomplished the same thing. Why do I have to keep it to do a video on it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's nothing wrong with optimizing for space and doing the on-end tanks and utilizing every inch that you can, if that's what you're into at the time. Because as all of us on here know, you go through phases.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, it's natural. So, yeah,
and it doesn't mean that 5 years from now I don't decide that I want to switch back and go hardcore breeding mode with guppies. Let me cram all these sideways tanks.
Yeah.
That's not the vibe I'm on right now. That's not
what
I want to be.
We definitely go through phases in this hobby, and I went through over the year. I went through a serious drawdown phase. Like, I got to go to this room. I got to go to that room. I got to change water in that room, that room, that room. Like, no, I'm just gonna change water right here on these things. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I have 2 rooms that I got to do tanks in.
Oh God. It takes me an hour to do all my water changes.
Not bad.
Yeah, an hour.
I only do mine every 6 months, so.
What? You don't need to do water changes ever.
I do them every 6 months.
Just out of curiosity, why 6 months? Are you serious though? Are you serious?
I'm serious.
I'm curious. I've never heard that.
Every tank I have is planted. Including my Oscar tank, they're planted. My nitrates stay at 10.
Has anybody ever had fish die of nitrates?
No.
Like legitimately, anybody ever had fish die of high nitrates?
Not that I can think of.
I've never either, but that's something that we always harp on, ain't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think someone needs to look into that.
To play devil's advocate, how would we know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can understand if your nitrates are up around 500, and so maybe, but
I was just talking with somebody, and I was listening to, and somebody said something about high nitrates, and I started thinking, I was like, hold on, wait, I don't know if anybody's ever had fish that I know of that died of high nitrates, even if it was high. They just said my nitrates are super high, and then they took it down, and everything was the same. Like it didn't say my fish were dying from nitrates. He said my nitrates are super high. Okay, now you brought it down. Now what? Nothing is the same.
Well,
Art's come
I
out.
have a question. I have a question for James.
Yeah.
Help me out. I'm gonna sound like like an old dummy here, but since it's never happened to me, I don't know exactly what it is. What's the definition of a tank crashing?
So generally speaking, that would be referencing, I guess it could reference a couple different things. One could be when you don't have the well-balanced tanks, like some people can manage, where you can only change water every 6 months, because a lot of people can't pull that off, or not that they couldn't, but they don't have the mindset to pull it off. So many people are like, I'm adding fish, I'm changing this, I'm doing that, and they're never getting it set in balance. So crashing could be referring to pushing things to the extremes on parameters in various ways, and crashing a system that way, just pushing it so far out of kilter. Or it could be going back to the water changes every 6 months, which is I think what most people are referencing, when you have a tank set up, and then, things like your minerals, which I'm assuming, with nitrate steady at 10, a 6 month water change is basically, you're just doing it to kind of refresh, remineralize, and kind of reset that part of the process. That's what I'm assuming. But generally, when people talk about tank crashing, I think it's usually in reference to, I've set this thing up and it's working so well that I'm not having to do anything until the point that I had to do something and I didn't do it. So I don't know the specifics on like your tanks that are getting 6 months water changes. It's probably not 8 months, but at 8 months, would they fall out of balance with minerals and crash at that point? Would you start to have pH swings at 10 months? At 12 months, when would that crash be? But that's typically the way I've seen it referenced over the years, is when you have a tank and everything's going fine, and oftentimes when things are going fine, we're not looking for problems because we haven't had problems, and then it's like, oh, everything was great, but now my pH just dropped a whole percentage, or not percentage, but a whole number. Or, everything was great, and then started to lose off plants, and this happened.
Yeah, because I was wondering.
Yeah, see, I got buffers in mine too, so.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk that they went to bed, all their fish were alive, and then they woke up in the morning and all the fish in a tank were dead.
Fathom, you hear this? You hear this, Fathom? Me and Fathom have been trying to get together over doing this exact conversation on my channel. Literally, the whole thing, people like, you just crashed for no reason. It just crashed. No, there's a reason. There's a reason. Nothing just happens for no reason. There's a reason. So this spontaneous crash that I've never witnessed, I don't know. We were gonna do a talk on it. We still are. So I don't know how much I'm gonna say.
I've been doing this for years, and I've yet to have one crash.
But apparently it happens to people, and I don't know how.
It does, and I think it's been pushing those extremes. But also, I think part of that is we tend to be very visual, or at least maybe not us, this particular group, but general aquarium hobbyists who often aren't maybe as informed or experienced even, tend to be very visual in the sense of, oh, this water is clear, it's clean, my tank is in good shape. They may not even know what's going on in terms of their nitrates or anything. So let alone if it's something to the effect of, well, I just went in and I really heavily planted this tank out, and I really don't have oxygen supply. A lot of people don't even run, air stones. Maybe they've got to hang on.
I
that.
do.
Maybe they don't realize that when they filled it back up from their water change, they put it so high that they're not really getting the surface agitation that they were previously. Or they've got a canister running, and now it's getting surface agitation, so they're not getting that oxygen. When they put the plants in, everything's fine until that night cycle. Because, plants produce oxygen, but they also use oxygen depending upon the day and night cycle.
Right.
So then you wake up and you go, oh my goodness, most people can't test their oxygen saturation. So they just look and go, something happened that I don't know what it was. Well, you put in, this is just a random example of what could happen. So I've seen crazy stuff. You put in a whole bunch of plants you didn't have before, and you also did a water change at the time because that clouded things up. Now you're not getting the surface agitation, so that's not giving you the oxygen that you were having before. Plus, you've got extra plants that are utilizing that oxygen now while it's dark. So now your actual dissolved oxygen measures at 3.5, before the lights come on, which is lethal to fish. They've got to have it 4 as the minimum, or 4.5.
Right.
So hey, Rocco.
That's something nobody would know in terms of just looking at a tank and going, well, it looks fine, and now they're all dead. And there were no warnings, but I think a lot of things that happen are outside the categories that are typically measured, especially by people that aren't deep into fish like we are.
I 100% agree with you. The only thing I have to say about that is I've heard people on fish live streams say, yes, sometimes crashes happen. And I'm like, no, they don't. There's always a reason. That's my point. Like you just said, it could have been, at nighttime versus daytime. Plant oxygen, dissolved oxygen in the water there's always a reason. I don't subscribe to people going like, sometimes it just happens for no reason. I'm like, no, there's always a reason. But
Right.
no,
Sorry.
See, that's one thing I run in all my tanks. I do run an air stone or a sponge filter, or I'm running under gravel.
Yeah.
So, and my under gravels are my most stable tanks.
Right.
I like under gravel tanks.
And some people may not have figured it out, but this person did. They were helping me, or they were asking me to help them troubleshoot a tank. And I'm getting pictures and I'm looking at stuff and they're like, my fish are dying off. What's going on here? And I'm not finding anything. And I'm asking all these questions, air circulation, water flow, this, that, and the other. What are you reading? Come to find out, and I don't know how their system was set up or what their regulator, whatever, looked like. Their cat, they cranked their CO2 full blast. That's what was killing all their fish. I mean, how do you,
I got somebody else backstage, and I can't bring them up.
I'll go. Let's see who it is.
I'll go.
It's the Whipster.
Whip it good.
I'll take a break.
Da-na-na-na-na.
I'll take a
Bing, bing, da-na-na-na-na. Bing, bing, da-na-na-na-na. Bing, bing.
Hello.
Now, Ron, what's your opinion on that, on the 6-month water change and stuff?
I've got tanks that I wasn't changing either for a long time. I was topping off. I've got a really high evaporation rate here. And so, within a week, I can drop 1.5 to 2 inches of water in each tank.
Yeah, I've got a couple that way.
Yeah. And well, it's a really arid climate where I live. So I didn't seem to be having any problems recently, more, I guess, in the last 6 months or so. So I started going with more of a regular water change about every week and a half, 10 days, whatever, something like that. And I've gotten on that cycle. And, honestly, Mike, I don't know why. I don't know if one's better than the other. I was just Googling the crash. And it's talking about an extreme drop in pH, really. Yeah. And so if there's a huge increase of carbon dioxide, that would decrease the pH, I imagine. Maybe somebody dumped way too much of one of those what are they? The CO2 like things in the bottle. What do you call it? The CO2 boost, the API brand, stuff like that. For the plants. Maybe they overdid that. That would, kill fish. So, did the tank really crash, or did something else toxic happen to the tank? But yes.
I mean, for the 6-month water change, guys, I still want to kind of like hit on what Fever has asked, because I was kind of asking the same question. 6 month, like what happens at 6 months and a week? Like, where did you come up with a 6-month number?
Nothing. It stays the same whether I went a week over, 2 weeks over. I keep an eye on the pH. My pH will drop a little bit.
Okay.
But it don't go down much. It stays right around 7. It'll drop down to maybe like 6, 8.
Oh wow!
And that's generally when I change it, when it drops down, a couple points.
And it takes 6 months to get to that.
Yeah. And you can ask Curtis. I mean, Curtis has seen my fish room. He's seen my fish room. So
no. I believe you. It's just interesting to me how different tanks have a different life, cycle than other. You know what I mean? I think it's cool as hell. Some people don't do any water changes. Some people, I like doing water changes because it's just
I have one tank I do them in like every 2 weeks, and that's my shell dwellers.
What comes out of your trap, Mike?
What's
You know,
that?
what's the pH out of your tap?
It's 7.
Is it? I'm at 7.5.
Yeah, it's 7.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
tank's
mine's
never
at 7.
go below 7.5. Yeah.
And I have such low chlorine that I don't really have to add any, dechlorinator to it.
Right. That gas is off. What about you? Don't have chloramines in your water?
No.
Yeah, we're blessed with that.
And then you got guys like Whip who's getting, hard water stains under the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Can anybody explain that?
There was concrete mineral stains on the glass below the water line.
Wow.
I mean, but my pH is closer to like 8.5 to 9.
Holy shit.
So it's super high.
Yeah, that's rough.
And it's got some kind of runoff happening right now. I've got ammonia and nitrates. Sometimes my nitrates are so high they're just blood red on that test strip.
Yeah.
So coming out of the tap like that. So doing water changes it doesn't do me a whole lot of good.
Yeah.
Craig. 5. What?
That's Rocco.
That's
Oh, I
Rocco.
can't even read. I'm trying to read. My eyes is bad. What's up, brother? I do water changes because I equate water to air, and I always remember what like my room or my son's room used to smell like as a teenager, and I'm like, oh, I know it's breathable, but it's so stale.
Right.
So in my head, I feel like it's just like opening a window. I don't know if that's true or not. Like, I don't know how accurate that is, having fresh water come in, kind of rejuvenate everything. I don't know. All I know is that's how I've always done it, and I've always had success. So I've never actually looked into it. I just always equate doing water changes with opening a window in a teenage boy's room. That funky air that hits you when you walk in, Yeah, it's breathable, but who the hell wants
what
that?
you're keeping, what M&C and I were keeping, we've got big fish that have big poops, and you don't want them swimming around in their own filth.
Yeah.
I don't have plants. I can't keep plants in there. The silver dollar just chew them up.
Yeah,
fast
see, I
as
don't
can
have
put 'em
silver
in.
dollars, but like with my Oscars, I got jungle valley with them, and it's growing like mad, and they don't bother it.
No, they probably wouldn't, but if you put silver dollars in there, you wouldn't have jungle veil anymore.
Yeah, I know. Like when I have my Doveye, I couldn't keep plants in there with him. He'd turn them to shreds.
You dig them up and pull them out of the ground. Yeah.
And anything else that went in there with him. That fish was evil.
They were selling Doveye, 2-inch Doveye. No, there was actually more 3-inch Doveys for $1 a piece at the Tampa Bay Aquarium Society because nobody wanted them.
Wow.
It went all the way down to $1.
If they had red morph Doveys, I'd have bought one.
3-inch. Well, they started out, I don't know, it started out kind of funny because so at the time when I was
Go ahead, Rocco.
Just no links unless you get them.
Right.
So at the time, I don't know how it is now because I haven't been in a while, but the Aquarium Society and they were heavy on plants, betas, and shrimp and stuff like that, like stuff you put in nano tanks. So automatically, if you had a cichlid up there, it was going for next to nothing because nobody, like the whole Aquarium Society in general, was kind of like boo, cichlids, boo. So you really didn't even see them there. There wasn't even a whole. That's just what I noticed. That's how come I really didn't keep going because I was kind of like, these fish don't interest me. The talks didn't interest me. Mike, can I? What's the deal? What's the deal with people posting on your thing? Out of curiosity. It seems to be a issue. What's up?
Oh, there's no issue.
Oh, okay. You don't let. I didn't know if you let people post on your.
They were asking.
That's cool that they asked.
Yeah, Rocco was just asking if he could.
That's cool. Instead of people just randomly doing stuff without asking.
Yeah, he's doing engravings on like logos and stuff on slate and all kinds of stuff. It's all laser etched.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty wild how he does it, and it's good looking stuff.
Can you do it on Jello? I've always wanted a Jello logo. Aqua Funk Aquatics on Jello, and then I like on the intro I could like shake it. Aqua Funk.
Why so serious?
Yeah, exactly. It's just something I kind of thought of one day when I was showering.
The one day he showered.
The one day I showered, and then I had an epiphany. Jello logo.
6 month water change.
Yeah, that's what it was. I do my biannual water change on my body.
It's getting to the point where I have a small South American tank that I am afraid to do water changes on, because every time I do, my water's so crappy. I killed off, I don't know, a half a dozen fish the last time I did it.
pH swing.
Yeah, it had to have been, but it shouldn't have been, because I like this one gets changed. If you can see that blue piece of tape right there, I bring it down that far, and then I have a second python that starts filling it back up, but it's still also emptying. So I figure it's got to be 60% water change, maybe 70% water change every week.
Well, it's empty and whipped because you keep overflowing it.
Yeah. Well, there is that too. I am notorious for overflowing them. I did 7 tanks yesterday, and I overflowed 6 of them.
Well, what kind of Southies you keeping?
In here, I got the Venezuelan pike, red shoulder, Oscar, Chili Oscars growing out.
And they're pH sensitive?
This one isn't, but my blue Acara, I lost like half of them. I had 13 of them. I'm down to 7.
Wow.
I lost bristlenose of all things.
You got a lot of driftwood in there? I mean, does the pH in the tank differ that much from your tap?
It shouldn't.
I would check the difference.
The only thing I can figure is the nitrates, and there was ammonia in it last time, so I thought maybe that's what it was.
A pH swing. If you have a South American tank and you threw some plants in there and driftwood and all that, that's going to buffer your pH down naturally. And then doing 8.100 or something like that, you said?
8.4 is what it is.
Wow.
I mean, it could do a pH swing to point where your fish, shock them. You might want to prep the water before.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I don't know what the case is. I was just saying.
Yeah, I mean, something has to give. I mean, I just did a very small one yesterday.
Did you piss anybody off? Like, has people been dosing bleach in your tank that you might have pissed off or anything?
I don't think, but you never know.
You never know, man. I watch a lot of Law and Order, bro. And these people are devious.
Sneaking in and bringing me this female.
I'm out here in the country all by myself, basically. So, I'd have to go out of my way to piss somebody off.
Just get on social media. It's easy to do.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You can piss off thousands of people at one time from all over the world. It's great. It's great. Anywho. So, James, other than I'm actually interested in the new fish James are gonna keep in the new fish room. I did what you were saying, bro. It's interesting to me,
So
someone who wants to like keep fish that they felt like not saying that look, we've been doing this a little bit. There are times where it's like, that fish, I would love to keep it, but it ain't really gonna get no traction. It's natural,
Yeah. I used to, way back before YouTube and all that, and just being a fish keeper, kind of part of my monster fish keeping phase was also a piranha fish keeping phase where I kept multiple types. and most of those being just individual fish. So you've just got this big, sits there in a tank and doesn't really do anything and isn't necessarily all that pretty or colorful. But the blue diamond prawn in particular, that's probably one that I'll end up saving up some money for down the road and devoting a tank to one of those, just because I think that they are a pretty fish and I will enjoy them even if I'm not feeding them mice and goldfish and all the trendy catchy shenanigans.
Yeah, don't. Actually, I'm be 100% with you. I know. Go ahead.
Now, if you're looking for unusual fish, rare ones, talk to Curtis.
Yeah, so I definitely want to devote part of it to some. It doesn't necessarily have to be endangered or CARES list, but could be, because I've done that before. But some things that aren't everyday stuff. I still want to have some guppies and things and the stuff I've had before, but.
Well, you need to feed the piranha.
What's that?
Well, you need to feed the piranha.
Yeah.
You don't have them anymore.
They coming. They coming.
What size peak would that thing take?
So those guys get, typically in captivity, they max out at about 12 inches. And they get fairly tall. So I've still got the glass to be able to do a big build, but they take so long to get there. But if I buy it, a couple inches big, which I think 3-inch one right now would be about $250 before shipping to get one.
Look, go up to New York, go to Chinatown. You could damn near find. No, I'm sure. I lie to you not. You can find all those fish in Chinatown if you go down those little alleys and stuff like that. But don't say this is what you say. Don't say the fish's name. Be like, I want that fish. Don't call it anything. Just say that fish. They'll sell it to you. Sell it to you.
With the head still attached.
No, that's in a bag. There was when I was in Virginia, they used to sell red belly piranhas, which were illegal, right? So you had to call them pacus. Right. Everybody knew what they were. It was a pawn shop, and in the back there was a room, right? And it was you could walk in with multiple tanks, and it said pacus written on every one of them. Pacu, 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 pacu. And you'd be like, if you said the word piranha, you'd be like, no, these are just pacus. They're not for sale. No prices. It just said pacus. And if you said, let me get one of those piranha, they'd be like, we don't sell fish here. Those are, personal pacus. But if you said, let me buy those fish, they'd sell it to you. $5 a piece.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I've seen some crazy stuff. I've had people that claim to be I guess they'd be fish distributors where we go and we pick up fish out of state and we bring them to fish stores, and they're like, hey, I can get you this, I can get it across the border, and I'm like, thanks, but they're legal here, but you also shouldn't be doing that. And then I've had people message me privately and publicly via comments on videos and go, hey, I'm in California, can you buy some piranha and ship them to me? I'm like, no. So people don't surprise me anymore.
Yeah, they are not legal here.
Good way to get in trouble.
Yeah.
It's like shipping fish in bottles. That's kind of illegal too.
Is it?
Yeah.
So I caught Noisy Aquatics live stream and he was showing something or something. I don't know who was doing it. Somebody had fish in bottles or something like that. And a lot of people, Corey. So, and I was real curious about it. People were really up in arms about doing that. And I've shipped fish before where the fish popped the bags. And I was thinking to myself, well, they're not going to pop the bag. So in one way, I was thinking that's kind of ingenious. On the other way, I was looking at the chat and there was a lot of people against it. I didn't know nothing about it except for what I just saw. So what are the pros and cons?
Zenzo shipped him a bunch of fish in Gatorade bottles.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. A bunch of small African.
You put it in another bag. You have to put the bottle in another bag. It has to be doubled. If it's liquid going through the
Okay,
bag,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
has to be doubled.
Well, I knew the double part, but I wasn't sure if it was like a bottle pressurization thing that they were worried about or what. But that makes sense, yeah, because I know everything's got to be doubled for shipping. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just looking at it, and I saw a lot of people kind of like, meh, 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 meh. And I was like, I don't see the problem with shipping guppies in bottles. I just didn't, I don't know. I know I shipped angelfish, and the spines on angelfish pop the bags. A lot of them, especially don't try and ship angelfish in breathable bags. Those bags are gonna get shredded up, tore up. I tried it, doesn't work. They rip them all out. Bottles.
Bottles are a good idea, but you got to remember to put the second bag on.
Like in a 6-pack, like a 6-pack thing.
You could try.
Go get a case of fish. Get me a case of fish, y'all. I'll be right back. Who wants to put in on this case? Pocket Hill.
Yep, they just had their little girl.
They did. River.
I felt bad. I did a live stream, and as I guess Katie was hollering and screaming and yelling and cussing Jake a new one, I was talking about him. I said, I don't know what type of canoeing that they do that they end up pregnant, but I don't think that stroking was the same type of stroking that most people like. Type of canoeing y'all doing over there? That's not canoeing. That's canoodling. There's a difference. Stop canoodling on your canoe trip.
Or
don't. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Yep.
Having kids at
Ron, what all you keeping in your fish room?
I was going to tell you guys, Whip, you were talking about the way you do the water change on that tank. I've got a 75. I go water in, water out, and there's a pair of red koi angels in it. And after about half an hour, 45 minutes, they're at the surface gasping for air. I don't get that. But I've got a crebensis, got albinos and species, a bunch of swordtails, neon orange swordtails. I keep shrimp, the red cherry, the blue dream, and the orange sunkissed, and Mexicali gave me these little wild type mollies that he got out of the Colorado River. These are cool little fish. I'm waiting for them to spawn for me. What else? Mickey Mouse platies, just a lot of real kind of nothing too fancy. A lot of cories. I got 5 different species of cories. I just saw somebody in the chat, Craig, talking about shipping cories in bottles like that. Yeah, there you go. Don't you need to ship cories like singly? I mean,
I don't think so.
No, you don't.
And here's one thing I know, catfish, they'll when they're stressed, they'll release a toxin in the water. And I'm thinking if you've got a bag full of them, they'll kill themselves off in 4 or 5 days of shipping.
Oh, 4 or 5 days? Hell no.
Well, that's usually what it takes, doesn't it? I mean, not everybody ships overnight. I got stuff from Aquahuna, and it was 3 days.
3 days, yeah. I mean, it's designed to do. Okay, so I work wholesale fish, right? We sell wholesale, and we do them in large, like cories will be in a large bag, and it'll have antifungal, in there, and another thing. But we've had fish last 5 days because they didn't pick them up at the airport when they were supposed to, or something happened. But ultimately, it's designed for us to be there within 24 hours at the airport. From airport within 24 hours, and then hopefully they'll be in the shop, shortly after that. Sure. Whether it be, UPS takes it to the place, but yeah, no, we do it all the time. They're thick mill bags, but yeah, we do it all the time.
We use like 6 mil bags.
I'm dyslexic. I will never remember numbers.
Okay.
I just know. I know that when you can roll it up and beat people with them if you wanted to. Let me stop. No, they're a thick mill.
Yeah.
The number I cannot remember, but they're a thick mill. They're industrial, you know, fish shipping. And we double bag them too. Well, for the most part, we double bag them. If it was small bags, the big bags, depending on the fish.
Now,
Yeah.
Curtis, I did order them bags you told me to get for shipping the Limia.
Uh-huh.
I got them coming. So I can get Mr. Jeff Kane his fish.
I don't get Jeff nothing. Get Jeff nothing. He ain't even done with his fish room yet. Still got bare floors.
We just started on it.
No excuse. No excuse. He ain't got nothing else to do. Stop going out in that boat, not catching anything, Jeff, and work on your fish room, buddy. Is he in the chat?
No. No, he's done fishing for the years. What he was saying on another stream, he's done fishing. So he's dedicated to working on the fish room.
I've seen him in his chat like a couple times, and never once have I saw him pull a fish out of the water.
Oh, I've seen him catch them.
He goes to watch his whitefish.
Nah, he pulled that YouTube crap where he put it on the hook and then slipped it in there. Like, oh, look what I got! Nope, I don't believe you. They don't have Ryukins in that water, man. Stop it. You're a liar. You're a liar.
Arapaima.
Yeah. Look, I caught me an axolotl. No, you didn't. You just put him on that hook. You didn't even hook him. You tied it up. You put there's a little bow on it, Jeff. Liar. You can't trust Jeff.
That's what your next fish is, and then James, you're gonna go with an arapaima.
Oh yeah, that's
Take up that whole left side of the shed there.
Yeah.
Man, I used to live in Jersey, and there used to be this pet store who sold exotic, like they were real legitimate exotic rare fish. You know, the vampire Dracula tetras with the big teeth and tiger. They'd have arapaimas come in there at least this big for $200. They'd come in on a Friday. If you went there on Monday, they'd be gone. It'd be like 275 gallons full, packed with these. And I'm living in New Jersey, the city, like, you know, it's city. Like people live in apartments. Who the hell is buying these fish in an apartment? Like, where's these fish going? I don't know. But yeah, it was wild.
Fins is out that direction somewhere now, and they're doing that too.
He's upstate New York, but this guy didn't sell online. So there was people walking traffic, buying him out 200 arapaimas at a time.
So
and I'm like,
online sales. That is impressive.
Well, this was back when I was in New Jersey. Now it's a little bit more, you know, necessary. But people were coming in off the street buying arapaimas.
Right.
Enough to where he can wipe, you know, you can have a whole 275 gallons cram packed with arapaimas a foot long, selling them at $200 a pop, and they'd be gone on Monday. In 3 days, they'd be gone.
Doing nothing but going ching ching. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always curious. I was like, all these people live in apartments in this area. Who the hell's keeping these fish? Where are they in the bathtubs? Like, where are they keeping these fish?
Local parks.
They're letting them go in the river and whatnot.
Nah, they died, man. There's one river is called the Passaic River. Man.
Even if they live through the summer, they definitely die in the winter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got a question for y'all. I need you guys' knowledge. Actually, I don't know. Hopefully, one of y'all have done this. Has anybody ever did a drip system, constant drip system on their tanks? No. Nobody. I'm setting up a tank in my shed, and I was thinking of because it evaporates. I get a lot because it's very humid and hot right now, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to come out here every day and fill this thing up. Or I could put a constant drip. And I was like, but what will that do? Because all you're doing is evaporating your crap in there and then filling it up and evaporating and filling it up and evaporating. So I was just curious on if with a constant drip, is there a point where
what
you
about
still
an
have
auto
to do
water fill?
Say it again, Mike.
An auto water fill.
that probably would be better.
Yeah.
That
That
way,
probably would be better.
I'd be kind of worried though, Funk, about it overflowing the tank,
No, it's pre-drilled. It's pre-drilled.
especially if you don't have a drain or an overflow on it.
No, it's pre-drilled. And in fact, the way it is it's going to be above my washer and dryer. I built a really heavy-duty shelf. It's above my washer and dryer, so the tank is already pre-drilled. So I'm going to go right from the tank into the dryer, the washer,
Right.
thing.
I saw
I'm
that
like
video.
Fathom.
Well, then you could definitely do a drip. I mean, if you have it so that it can't overflow.
Yeah, but there's also going to be a lot of evaporation going on because how hot it is, and I was just curious on levels of just aquarium levels in general. How does that work out? Does water changes trump constant drips or vice versa, or is it the same?
I'm pretty sure you guys might know better than I, but Big Rich over there at Ohio Fish Rescue, that's how they do it.
Constant drip?
Yeah, they just keep adding water, and then it when it overflows, it flows out into the backyard.
Yeah. And that's what that's what I was thinking about doing, but I was just curious if that was gonna just concentrate whatever level. Because so this is the reason why I'm doing it. I'm growing out these little Fahaka puffers, right? So I'm gonna they eat a lot. These suckers eat, which is cool and all that. So I'm like, okay, constant drip would seem cool, but I was just curious about which is better, having it set up for autofill where I just for X amount of time it just dumps water in and goes out, or would a constant drip be better? You know what I mean? Because you can get those little garden things where it turns on and it'll just dump water into your tank, overflows out, or would a constant drip be better?
Check out Greg Sage and see how he's got his all set up, Funk.
Yeah, I was just curious about the levels, like which is better for ammonia and all that.
What is it? He's got his set up on timers, doesn't he, Curtis?
Yeah, he's using a Rainbird. He's using a sprinkler timer, but his is an automatic drip. It's an automatic water change.
Yeah, it's auto water change versus auto drip. That's what I'm kind of like this on.
Do the same thing. Instead of running it for 10 minutes, just run it for a minute and 30 seconds or whatever.
The biggest downfall to auto water change is that out here in Florida, that water coming up, you have to and that's why I have to do a drip. I think I did have to do a drip because the water out of it comes out hot.
Yeah.
It comes out hot. So if I let that thing sit for a couple hours, once it cuts on, it's going to dump hot water in there. Like hot. So maybe I will do a drip.
Tap into the cold side.
God dang it. Now you got me back in my little thing again. I thought I had it handled. There you go. Now I'm perplexed again. Thanks a lot.
Need to be treated.
I do a DIY chlorine remover. I use the the 3-stage 1, 2, 3. Not the RO. I just use a 3. I use 1 sediment and 2 carbon blocks, and it removes it. It removes the chlorine.
You don't have.
That might be what you need to look into, Whip.
It's cheap.
Yeah,
and it lasts a long time.
I definitely. They're not that cheap. They were $1,000.
Oh no!
At Aqua Show.
Home Depot and do it.
Bro, I got on Amazon. There's a 3-stage, whatchamacallit, and it's like $50.
50?
Yeah, dude, they're not cheap. You could get individually. You can buy them at Home Depot for like $25 each. Sometimes 20. I think. Yeah.
Well, thank God he's gone.
Who let him up here?
I don't know, but whoever it was, they need to have their head examined. Do you got a full air system and everything in there, Ron? You running an air loop?
Oh no, God no. I've got just a couple of those. What do they call pawfly? The little.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm getting to a point where I'm gonna have to do something about it.
What do you think of those paw flies?
You know, it's been working all right. 2 of them. I got 2 of them.
Those have the high. They got a high and low setting on them, don't they?
You know, I couldn't even tell you. I don't remember. I put them up on a shelf and forgot about them. I'll have to look. But they've been working well, and I've got let's see, 5 and 4 is 9, 10. I think 10 tanks on one. You know, and they're all sponge filters. So
right.
They're working all right. But I've got
now, James. You got a air loop in yours, don't you?
Well, I've got part of one up still, but yeah.
Working on it. It's a work in progress. Right?
Well,
So
I did back when everything was up during the summer. I actually had the air loop run through the shed here, and then out the wall, and then running sponge filters out in the tubs in the outside tanks as well.
Somebody just gave me a great idea for a new logo.
Uh-oh.
Weisenheimers. Bunch of Weisenheimers. That's all they are. Anyway, what's a pot fly?
The brand.
I mean, a butt fly.
No, I was just talking about it. Well, I
paw
fly.
What's that?
P-A-W-F-L-Y, yeah.
Paw fly.
What is that?
It's an air pump.
I'm sorry, an air pump, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I got them on Amazon.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, they're all right. I remember when I was a kid, we used to use something called a silent giant.
I have one.
I heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just motorboat.
I have a silent giant, and I have a couple of the old Metaframe air pumps.
Wow.
I just motorboat my tank.
I still have a couple of the old Metaframe tanks too.
Yeah. I that was my first tank. I think it was, what was it, Pemco was one of the brands, the stainless steel frame with the black, I forgot what they call that black goop that they seal the tank.
Asphaltium.
Yeah, there was another name for it but anyway, yeah, those were great. I had at one point like, I don't know, 2 dozen tanks. And when I stopped fish keeping, I was, I don't know, 24, 25, I donated them all to the local Boys and Girls Club. Regret it now. I wish I still had them.
Yeah, they're getting hard to find.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't find a $50 one, but that was $120.
No, they have them for cheaper, but they have it's basically the same thing, but it's like, because I mean, all it is a chambers where the water goes through. That's all it is.
All this on the cargo market.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trying to sell that for almost $1,000 at Aquashella.
Yeah, you can just go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get it.
Yeah.
Just go to Home Depot and Lowe's.
That's where I got my RO system, was Home Depot.
Yeah.
Works just like everybody else's.
Yeah, them old slate bottoms, they were prone to leak, and I've got one that's been set up, oh my God, probably 30 years. Never leaks a drop.
Okay, so this right here, let me see if you can see it. No. It doesn't. You have to find the little connectors to put it together. It's all white.
It's white.
There it is.
Yeah. Come on, I gotta get
back it out a little.
It's just 3/4.
Back it up.
Oh,
you were close.
It was there for a second. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that right there. It's just 3, and you just connect them with threaded pipe, and there it is. This one is literally $49.99.
What's the brand on them?
Be right back, guys.
Geek Pure. GEEK PUER. And it's just 3 chambers. You connect them, and you get the right filter cartridges, which are cheap as hell. And I don't use Prime or not. I have it for just in case, somewhere. I haven't seen it in forever. I don't even know where it's at. But I literally turn on my faucet, let the hot water run out, and then fill my tanks.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why it only takes me out.
Never get cold here. I can let the water run all day. It'll never get cold here.
It'll never get cold. Well,
No.
where you at? Where are you at?
Palm Desert, next to Palm
Oh.
Springs, California.
Yeah, no, it runs. I gotta run it for at least about 3 to 5 minutes, and it'll cool down in Florida.
That's not bad.
But the heat is not from the ground, because the ground is actually cooler with our high water table.
Right.
The heat is just from the pipes.
Yeah.
As soon as that heat runs out from the pipes, then you're good. But yeah, I did water. Huh?
It's the pipes in the walls and
Yeah. I got a long water hose going from my back all the way to here that kind of sits out in the sun.
all right.
Where are you
So-
at, Punk? Are you down in Florida? Is that where you're at?
Yeah, Lakeland, Central Florida, Lakeland, Florida. But I'm not Floridian.
No,
Let's get that.
You're the Florida man.
Hey, cut that out right now, mister. I just happen to be here at the time. Not Florida man. I'm not. Because he's a real deal. He's a thing out here. Like, I see things all the time, and I'm from Brooklyn, and I go, God dang, look at that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I see some stuff, man. Florida man is a real thing. It's interesting, though. I'm a little disappointed as a fish keeper being in Florida, because I thought, like, when I lived in Jersey, when it was like, yeah, we're gonna move to Florida, the fish keeping hobby is just gonna be no, it's more freshwater fish keeping. There was more. I feel like freshwater fish keeping was a bigger deal up north in Jersey than it is here in Florida. As far as the types of people you run into, they seem to be a little bit more serious. Out here in Florida, there's not as many serious freshwater fish keepers.
Oh, look at it over in the UK and that, where it's really big.
Yeah. I guess the harder it is to find, the more they appreciate it. I guess that's the theory behind it.
Seems big in Australia too.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Some
New
great-
Zealand, Australia.
Isn't it?
What?
Isn't Florida just got a ton of restrictions now?
I think more and more. It sounds like.
All the
Yeah.
time.
So Florida and their restrictions is very strange, because they'll restrict one thing but deregulate another thing. I can't really tell you. Florida's a crazy place. It's just weird. Benji, what's up, man?
I
Hey,
know
Mike.
that's one of the reasons why Rod and Kevin moved out because Kevin was having the same problem in California as Rod was in Florida, so they moved to New York upstate New York, right?
Dude, Ron Cichlids, they used to be out here in Florida. They moved to South Carolina or North Carolina or something like that. One of the Carolinas.
Yeah.
And you figure, like, why?
Businesses out.
Yeah, why would a business, because out here you can have ponds and stuff and outdoor greenhouses and have as many fish as you want, but I don't know, they do weird stuff with the regulations, and it drives some people out of here. I don't know what that is yet, to be honest with you.
Wow.
See, that's kind of what gets me too, Frank. Like all the farms out there in Florida, they get flooded over and fish go out, out into the wild.
Yeah.
And yet they're raising hell with the fish keepers about releasing fish in the wild. But yet the farms are having it happen.
It doesn't have nothing to do with us, but it's mostly farms. Whether you're talking about the snakes and the tegu and the what else did they have? They just had
iguanas, snakes,
iguanas.
Yeah,
all that stuff is because hurricanes knocked down the farms and they all got.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I work for a place called Consolidated Fish Farms, right? So it is a farm. So I do know all the So yeah, the majority of the problem with the invasive species is from fish farms and storms, because like when we get heavy rains, I don't know how if these farms don't do their things right, like there's no way the ponds won't fill up over and run it off into a ditch, because there's ditches all over the place that run off to like drainage ponds, and all those drainage ponds are connected, and it just, you know, yeah, the majority.
You got some of them fish farms that got like the above ground big vaults.
Yeah, and those have I knew a guy. I knew a guy, and when I did his I did a whatchamacallit, a tour. I did a tour.
Yeah.
And when we went there, one of his things was, don't film that, because literally his drain went out into the little creek. He went out to the creek, and I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing, man. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to bust nobody. I'll leave that part out. But I won't even touch that whole situation. But literally, it had the burial vaults. The burial vaults overflowed into like a little ditch that he had, and that little ditch is like, and it splashed into the creek. And there was no barriers to keep fish from, like little fry, from going in there, and no, if you medicated that burial vault, you were medicating the creek. So, yeah.
Well, it's like one, I think they're in Florida, the ones that created Extreme Foods. Theirs all overflow out onto the ground and into ponds.
Yeah. There's, if you're gonna have a fish farm out here, you got people really looking at what you're doing to make sure the stuff doesn't get out. But it's no way you can keep it from getting out. I mean,
I don't remember. Maybe it's what you were talking about, Mike. But and I'm sorry, I don't remember what channel it was I was watching. It's a couple of years ago, but they were touring one of the farms, and they had the vaults that you're talking about.
Yeah, the big coffin vaults. Yeah.
And then like the walkways between them, where the water was like overflowing and creating like a stream.
Yeah, that's the one.
They had doveye in there that were this big.
Yeah, that's the one.
Same video, right?
That's the one that they created the Extreme Food, and they catch them doveye every now and then, and they'll put them in a vault and breed them, and then put them back in the pond.
Yeah.
And they had doveye in there. A couple of them were like 18 inches long.
Yeah, they were huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
Males, female. They had pacu in some of them too. Yeah, Ron.
My wife just got home with dinner. I am going to check out.
Okay.
I
appreciate you coming up, Ron.
I thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it, Mike. Nice meeting you guys.
Hey, you can come up anytime you want. Just let me know.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening.
You too, Ron.
Everybody in the chat, don't forget to hit that like button.
Yeah, or we're going to come after you.
That's right. Thanks, guys.
So there are ways to be responsible as a fish farm to try and get that to not happen. And for the most part, a lot of fish that get out introduced into the wild, especially the real colorful ones, they get predated on. With all the predator fish out here in Florida. But then every once in a while, you come across that one species that it's just not. Off the top of my head, convicts, plecos, jewels. Plecos, honestly, in my opinion, are the worst thing to the Florida habitat than any other fish.
Yes. Yes.
They're killing.
Now, Whip, in that video you were talking about, they also had pacu in there too.
Yeah, there were multiple
enormous,
huge,
enormous pacu.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
I know a lot of people, like, I don't understand how there's hungry homeless people out here in Florida, because there's what is that
fish
one
everywhere?
What's that one African cichlid? It's pretty prolific. Tilapia.
Yeah, that thing is you can't find a 4x4 puddle that doesn't have tilapia in it.
Yeah, but as far as damage, like serious damage, I feel like the pleco has done the most. I went to a river, Hillsborough River, and there was just sections of the river where there's absolutely no vegetation. It's just brown dirt, just brown water, but you see these black things in the water. And you're like, what are those? And the closer you get to it, thousands of plecos, thousands of them. And I was like, that's a damn shame. Like, you know what I mean? Like, somebody needs to figure out a way to make money off the harvesting of these wild plecos.
And they're good to eat. I mean, you see the Peruvians eating them all the time.
I guess so. I don't know. I know they only have one predator in Florida, and that is the what are the weasels? The water weasels? Otters. Otters are smart enough to catch them, flip them over, and rip them from the belly.
Gators won't take them?
I mean, I guess gators will, but they're not as easy. The otters are ferocious with them.
Oh, yeah.
But there's not enough. Huh?
They're quick. They can
Yeah.
catch them. Whereas a gator, they have to damn near swim into their mouth.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. You know how plecos do. They're not going to just swim in the middle of the water and investigate stuff. So the otters, like you'll see dead pleco carcasses, and they're ripped out from the belly. And it's because that's how otters get them. They flip them over and soft belly. So
that's a good story, Punk.
You like that?
Yeah, welcome back, Jimmy.
I totally made that up, Jimmy. I pulled that right out of my.
I would like to offer a suggestion to our good buddy, Mr. Funk. I really think you should talk more. I really do.
What about?
Oh, you should hear him you should get into his member streams. They get really interesting.
Yeah, I can't
James,
talk.
I want to tell you, I swung back over to your channel and I just resubscribed with my new channel. Okay.
Oh, I appreciate that very much.
And now
that's why I say a lot of
I'm
times funk is kind of a underrated.
Does it?
trying to talk to James.
As you said, under height. Nice.
And now that I'm an investor,
what's wrong?
I'm an investor now, James. So I want to see something good from you. Hey, I got a question, a real question. I know we touched on it before Funk got here. You know, we were actually having a pretty good conversation before he showed up. But anyway,
Jimmy P, I hope nothing bad happens to you.
But James, what is the first tank and the first fish you're going to get when you get around to it?
We were already talking about them.
I know, but I forgot because you've been talking so long.
That's because you have a very short memory.
Because he's old.
You need to eat more fish.
The first tank that I'm setting up are just going to be temporary, which I've got, like I always have bunch of plants from the aquarium co-op, and I've still got some plants that made it through. So like right now, my goal is up above me. Of course, the light's off now, but that 20 long there is full of moss, and I want to get several tanks set up so I can get it separated out and let it grow better. So the first tanks are going to be that, and then cherry shrimp. And then if I can devise the plan that I think I can to fix these LFS stackable display tanks, then we'll start there. And I've been looking at either doing rice fish or white cloud mountain minnows to start with, just because I know worst case scenario, which is what I plan for anymore after everything that happened. Worst case scenario, even if I don't get this fully insulated before winter time, I know that they'll be able to make it in the temperatures that I know I can sustain in this building without it being fully insulated. So plants don't mind going cold. The Neocaridina shrimp don't mind going cold, and then the white cloud mountain minnows don't mind going cold. So
yeah, they don't. I have some.
Yeah, that's going to be the first fish more than likely. Of course, there's the other side of me that's like, oh, go to the fish store and let's see what we can find. And I miss having a bisher, and I miss having this, and I miss having that. And it's like I really just want to take it at a nice slow pace. And so you'll probably see a bunch of tanks that are just plants and shrimp to begin with. And then, like I said, probably
Okay.
something like the white clouds, just to kind of have a fish so that I can have some fish to enjoy as I build out. Because I think I'm going to go a 4-foot section at a time. I was talking to someone yesterday, and he was like, I would probably
Garage.
just go 4 foot,
Whip.
build it out. Sorry, go ahead.
Whip, his channel is Garage Aquatics.
Garage Aquatics.
Yeah. Garage Aquatics.
Aquatics,
I'll get it. Hang on.
2023 is on the
Yep.
end of it.
Oh, Fathom got it. Mr.
I
Allen.
found it. If I can find it, Whip can find it.
I can find it because Fathom.
Well, hey, James, are you looking for any particular plants? That's one thing I can do. I have plants,
So I'm not looking for anything in particular. No, actually, one of the things I was looking at was almost a mystery series, I guess, and which it wouldn't have to necessarily be from the co-op, but especially like I know other people that want to do plants. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just order all my plants through mystery packs, and then I don't really know what I'm getting, and it's kind of a surprise that way. So if it was even like I talked to someone like you, like, hey, you want to put together a package and I can send you some money and you send me some random stuff. That way it's more, I think that'll be fun, but also I think that might give me some different challenges, so to speak. I've got a couple that I got in that mystery pack. What were they even? Hold on, I got stickers here. Oh, a red melon sword and a red flame sword, which are two plants I've never kept before. And I probably wouldn't have ever ordered just for the simple fact that I've never kept them. And oftentimes, especially with plants, like, well, I'll keep things I know that I've had before and I was successful with. But it adds, I don't want to say a sense of adventure, but something new. It's not crazy and outlandish, but it's still a different journey and a different step of doing it. So I'm open to pretty much any plants as long as it's not something that can have very special requirements.
Jeff is here.
Right.
Did you guys
Definitely.
see his matting of what was that? That was some kind of fern, or not a fern. What did you have? You had like this thick carpet of
The moss?
moss. That's what it was.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like,
that's,
damn.
That is, and the funny thing is, I'll let you all know.
Uh-oh, he locked up. Mid thought.
I wish that would happen when Jimmy P talked.
Right.
No, his brain just does that. It goes in
He has the spiral, the wheel of death, and he glitches.
Yep.
Jimmy P's glitching again.
Hey,
I think he's back.
Hey, Funk, I like giving you trouble because I know you can take it. Okay, come on.
Jimmy, I love you, brother. I don't, y'all.
Hey,
I just made that up.
I know you did.
Is he back?
I know.
Is he back, or is he still
He's not.
or is he just really still?
He was talking about. He's just really still. He has like this chunk of sod in his tank. I mean, it's so thick. I've never.
I think he was going to say that's still alive, right?
It's one of the few things that he was able to keep alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that big
does
tank of
anybody know
his
what
though blew the
happened?
bottom out. Oh my God. The latest
been so
video,
What is
the
that?
latest video he put out talks about it, Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah. If you
Here
haven't
he
seen
is.
it yet.
I'll have to go look at it.
Yeah, his latest
I broke
video.
StreamYard.
Oh
Hey,
my
there we go.
gosh.
This stuff right here.
I mean, check that out. I mean, that's just crazy.
That looks like one of LRB's tanks.
And the great thing about it is this moss is not even stuff that I got from a pet store or any type of fish thing. This was the moss that you find along like a central heat and air unit where the drip drain
Could
is.
you? I was wondering about that. Could you grab
Yep.
that stuff and grow it out in your tank? I've never tried it.
And I converted
Well,
it,
James-
and it has done this.
That
that's
is
my PD.
ridiculous, James.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hold
God.
on. Wait, stop for 1 second.
Killed a lot of that off because there was no light getting through. Even with that high-powered pendulum light above it, it still couldn't penetrate the top layer, so I lost a lot on the bottom.
So I was always afraid because I know of all the stuff that goes into ACs and what comes out that drain. So I was always hesitant, you know. But have you tried that in any of your tanks? Have you had any issues with fish? Or
I've not had any issues with it.
wow,
Now,
I've always wondered.
so here's the way I did it.
Yeah.
What I try and always preach. This is how I did it. It may not be the right way, but it's what worked for me. Was I took that moss, it's just that flat, green, spread out stuff. I brought it in. I rinsed it really, really well multiple times until the water was clear. And then I took, I did it in a large container, but you could do it in a shoebox. So I did like a bunch of different types of plants I was trying out to see what I could convert and whatnot. And since they're, of course, immersed plants, I wanted to kind of give it some sort of period of transition almost. Yeah. You could take I don't have one here, of course, but I mean, even like this container would work, but like a plastic shoebox. I put them in that plastic container. I soaked everything down. The bottom layer was basically pea gravel. It's the cheap Home Depot gravel that I use in the fish tanks anyways. And then I put a little bit of dirt over it, and I spritzed it down. Yeah, I spritzed it down, and then I put saran wrap over it. And I just put a light on it 24/7 until it just started flaring up and kind of, stringing out like our moss does in the aquarium. So that kind of converted it from that flat carpet into the stringy moss. And then I took that stringy moss and I actually went submerged with it. And it took a little bit for it to transition, but I didn't even really have a lot of die off when I did it. It was more just like it existed in that state without really growing or doing anything for a while. And then finally it took off and started to grow. And it just went crazy.
So did you put anything in that tank for it to get that big? Do you put, what kind of fertilizer, what kind of light?
I use Easy Green. On the light right now is like an AI pendulum light. But that's not what it's always been under. I just did it with Easy Green fertilizer, and then I've had it under a bunch of different lights. So the co-op light.
Yeah, I've always
done it.
Like I've had it under a bunch of different lights because it is still just like pretty much all of our other mosses. It's not a high light requirement. It's a very low light requirement.
Like I said, I just always been scared because I know all the stuff that goes into those ACs and comes out of those drainage, and I was like, ooh, like it's just in my head. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. I see it all the time out here, but I've never done it. I was curious about it, but I never did.
Remember that tank Rachel O'Leary had that had that big blackbeard algae in it?
Yeah.
And then it just disappeared?
Yeah.
That thing was almost like that.
That was
I ain't gonna lie, I really enjoyed Rachel O'Leary's channel. I wish she never stopped.
I miss her channel.
I wish she never stopped. There's very few channels that once they're gone, I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll find somebody else. I really wish she would been back around. I like people who come at fish keeping very practical, and show.
I go back and watch. I go back.
I go back and watch her.
I watch her on different stuff. I think the last video I watched of hers was on her bog filtration that she did. Yeah.
I just saw a short of her chopping wood, splitting wood. I mean, that was just yesterday or today, this morning.
Really?
Yeah, because it's she's gone completely, into the wild where she's camping and hiking and doing the nature thing, and now I guess she bought herself a little splitter, and she was splitting logs so that she could have a fire out there when she was.
I'd say the last I'd heard, she'd got rid of all her big tanks, her bichers, everything.
I think it's all gone. Yeah, she might have kept one or two.
I was wondering what happens to people. I guess I don't know what happens to people when they have decent sized channels, and there's all of a sudden some people their backstory on what happened.
Yeah,
But,
her health went bad.
But I thought she had that handled. I thought it was something that she was managing well.
At last I heard, her health went bad, and she's probably come out of it. But
She got.
And-
She's well enough to be hiking.
She got
That's where
And the new guy is an outdoor guy.
Oh, she got a new guy?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I never really ever got into people's personal lives like that, so I don't really know. All I know is what she had mentioned in a video here and there, but I don't know. I don't know what happened in her personal life. I just saw a guy pop up every once in a while with tattoos.
Yeah, he was the one that made the stands for her and everything.
Yeah.
He was always very
Yeah, that's it. But as far as
straightforward with that.
her health and stuff like that, I didn't realize that it
Kinda
was
came out with that accident that started the whole thing off, right? Wasn't she in some kind of bad wreck that
yeah,
She
and
had to have
then her health went to hell, and then she was kind of gone. And then there's King and Queen Scott and Liz. He just said, "Okay, I've had enough."
yeah, he got rid of all but one, did he?
I think he got everything. I think he kept one, and then he got rid of that too.
So I talked to Scott. I talked to Scott on a kind of regular basis. Like we still keep in contact on a regular basis. Scott, all right, before Scott left, all right, he spent a year of me talking him down off the ledge from quitting his channel. Like he like, I don't know, man, it's starting to get stupid and this, that, and the other. And his heart was really into photography. And I was like, bro, like, if that's what it is, and go for it. You know what I mean? I never wanted him to stop his channel because I felt like he was such a good influence on a lot of people.
Right.
But he couldn't do both, and he's happy doing his photography. I mean, he'll send me pictures all the time of behind the scenes stuff that he does. He's real happy. I'm real proud of him. Man, now I'm 48. He's 50, mid 50s. And him to just say, you know what, I'm gonna try something new, and then just go in on it like that. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of Scott.
Matt's Monster Fish is one of the channels I first started watching when I got into YouTube. Yeah, he just boom gone.
I used to follow a guy that he went by the name of Fishroom Fever, and then he just disappeared for a while.
Yeah, he disappeared out of the blue.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
I don't know. I've heard a lot of crazy stories.
Another one is Solid Gold.
Yeah.
What she had?
Well, that was
or whatever.
she had some personal issues though.
Oh yeah.
Whatever happened to IFG? He just gone.
I think people just get burned out.
I'm all broke up over that one.
You run out of things to say. Well, most of us do. Jimmy,
especially if you're not really into it and you're just out doing it for the wrong reasons, it's easy to run out of things to say. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? Monster Fish Gal, Miss Lori got into the big cichlids because of Scott. How about that?
Really? Let me see what did he say last time.
Andy Woods is kind of the one that got me into the Doveye.
Who did?
Andy Woods.
I love that guy.
Andy Woods.
Now I don't know that I'm aware of him.
He kept a lot of big fish, and I mean big fish. He had black nasties and Haitiensis and Texas cichlids and Doveye. He had blue Doveye. He had red morph Doveye. Now he has a community tank. He got rid of everything, but a community tank is, I think, it's just got like I don't even remember, Festes.
When I tell you, Scott still, so he texted me. He sent me a picture because he's still getting subs from his videos, and he goes 2 away from 11K. And then I told him I was gonna unsub him twice so he can get his 11. I'll unsub and sub twice, but I don't know. Like I said, he's a good influence on a lot of people. I wish he would still be doing fish, but he's happy doing what he's doing. Andy Woods, he rocked too, but I think with Andy Woods,
Andy got to where he had to be drinking to get in front of the camera.
yeah. So not only that, but I feel like he was not willing to fall into the trap that a lot of us do fall into, which is I need to make new content, so I need to get new fish. He was happy with the fish he had. That's what he specialized in. So that was that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
And oh, look at there. Look at that. Look at that. So I guess he felt like in order for him to go forward, he would have had to start doing stuff that he wouldn't want to. And he ran out of things to say about what he was having. Oh, snap. Look at that. The ceiling. Jeff Kane's ceiling.
Yeah, I think I got the same pictures.
Dang.
Jeff never sends me pictures.
Yeah, he doesn't send me any pictures either.
Well,
Yeah.
we we've got an underground secret squirrel club going on. You gotta know. You gotta know the secret handshake.
Well,
In Jeff's
I'm
case,
sorry.
he made a
I want to
beard
keep my clothes on. Okay.
That's why you ain't gonna go nowhere in life. Take off your clothes, show the world, let your freak flag fly.
Oh, James, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to hear that.
It's nothing funky.
Oh my God.
See what you've been missing out on, James?
Oh, that's the thing is I haven't missed as much as y'all think I have. I lurked a lot. Just never said anything.
Lurker tits.
Well,
Is every-
I really don't blame you for not wanting to say anything.
I'm the other way around. I always talk too much. I'm sure people are like, damn.
Aren't you switching days, Whip?
What's that?
On your streams, aren't you switching days?
I had to move. Yeah, I had to pick up a part-time gig splitting wood for a company. Hey, Vibes. So on Fridays, I'm going to be doing that. So I moved to Saturday. There was a 2-hour hole. There was a 2-hour hole I filled right up.
I try to lurk on people's channels. I can't do it though.
I can't do it either. I always feel like I should say something. Oh, what are you talking about? You can't say that.
No.
So my favorite is to work through to the very end, and then when they're saying goodbye, I'll take care, everyone.
Yeah, I have seen you do that, James. Like, wait a minute. Did I just see that?
I like that. I like that.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm cool with lurk people. Oh, Mexicali. Damn. Who let him out? So I'm cool with people lurking on my channels. You know, I don't mind it. I mean, it is what it is. You know, like you can't stop people from doing it. It's when you kind of know they lurked at your channel because they say things that kind of give you a hint that they were there at the time. You know, like sometimes we'll talk and, you know, like, and they'll be like, oh, so-and-so, and you'll be like, oh, the only way he really knew that is if he watched my thing. And if people start taking, and like no idea is new, but when they use it like word for word without saying, I was watching so-and-so's channel and he said this and I thought it was a good idea, that I like, but you know, just to say things without, like if it was, you just thought of it, when it's like, yo, I just said that yesterday on my channel and you're going to word for word say it. That's when I'm kind of like, I lose respect for people. You know, I don't necessarily out and out dislike people, but I'll be like, oh man, I thought you was better than that. But okay, I'll continue to watch. But
Okay.
Yeah, Lori.
I'm sorry.
Lori.
I'm sorry.
Lori had a
Bob. I won't-
question here.
What's
I
that?
won't do that anymore.
Well, you can go ahead and do it. I'll write that off of my taxes as a charity.
Lori had a question here. Said I got a linear air piston pump from Gemco, not putting out any pressure as it should. Should I buy another pump or get a rebuild kit? I would say get a rebuild kit.
Well, how long have you had it? If you just got it, I'd send it back to them because Gemco. I've dealt with Gemco 3 times. Had a great experience every time. So I would say, be like, hey, look, I got this from you not too long ago, and it's not really doing like, you know, they'll probably send you a rebuild kit for free. To be honest with you, if it was that clear, or they might be like, just send it back. We'll send you another one.
It's 2 years, she said.
2 years? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Then you probably want to go ahead and just get the. I mean, but yeah, just get the rebuild kit. Get the rebuild kit.
You can try it once. I mean, what the hell? You'll be out a couple bucks if you
Yeah.
can't get it to work. But
I agree. Whip, has anybody ever told you that when you wear orange, you look like a felon? I would walk.
orange very often.
I would go to the other side of the street if I saw you walking down. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, you got a whole, like, I'm like, oh, man, this guy's fresh out. He's fresh out. They just let him out. He still got his papers in his bag with him.
Right. Except for it's Goofy. He's from your neck of the woods.
Oh, yeah. That throws it all off. I just saw the hair and the goatee and the orange. I'm like, oh, man, he looks so sinister. But the whole time I've been looking at you like, yo, he looks like I've seen him somewhere. I'm locked up abroad or something. I can't remember. I don't know. Just thought I'd put that out there. It's been on my mind. It's been on my mind the whole time.
The whole time.
Felt like I had to say something. It was holding me back.
So, Jimmy, what are your plans, man? You don't got any content up anymore. What the hell are you doing?
I have no idea.
You have an idea. You can tell us. There's only the entire internet listening in.
I'll probably be doing a whole lot during the winter. You know, I'll be inside more. And I don't know, but what can you show? What can you do that you haven't seen 1,000 times on other people's channels, you know?
Well,
that's what worries me.
That's the thing. I mean, I don't even care anymore. You're going to see the same. You know how you were saying the guy who I don't even remember who you were talking about. Was it Woods? He had the same setup. He wasn't going out to buy new fish every other week because he didn't have the content. I'm going to have fish. I'll have the same 9 tanks with the same damn fish in them for the rest of their lives. So I'm not going to go buying new fish all the time.
Yeah,
And
that's how I am.
People don't want to watch, you don't have to watch, but I'm going to keep putting it out there just because I feel like putting it up.
Well,
yeah.
Here's the thing that I struggle with. I struggle with recycling older videos and redoing older videos, which I don't care. If you watch any big, I don't care how big of a channel they are, whether it be Joey or Corey or KG or something. If you look down their thing, right? If you look down their roster of old videos, they've done the same video with twists on the same. Yeah, and that's hard. That's hard to do mentally for me. Talking about the same thing because right now I'm going through it with Angelfish, trying to just revamp, new up all the old stuff that I did and make newer versions of it. But even then, I'm
too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Technologies change, information changes, so that helps a little.
It's just
technology changes where you can you have better quality what you're talking and saying and.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, and you also have, I mean, yeah, there's the core group of us, but as the OGs know, think of all the names that we saw in the chat every day, day after day, 7 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, that aren't around anymore, and it's a whole new group of people that are rotating out. That's the bigger demographic of people But even beyond that is the demographic that we never interact with because they don't care about talking to a live chat and this, that, and the other. They just watch the video. So not only is it nice to refresh them from a technology standpoint and even an analytics standpoint, oh, we're going to do thumbnails with this because this is a new fresh thing, but it's also you've got this whole new audience, especially in our genre. You've got
and
all
really,
these
not too many people are going back, right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you get a lot of views on stuff that's more than a couple months old? I mean, once it clears the algorithm, you know, nobody's looking at that anymore unless it's something that is hopping, you know.
And I think the mistake is kind of what Fever was talking about. What we do is we think to ourselves, "Oh, I made a video on this subject." Whip already seen that video. Jimmy P, he don't watch my videos, but he would have seen that video. MC seen that video. So I don't have to do. But the truth of the matter is that you made that video a long time ago, but there is an influx of people asking that question years later.
All the time.
So if you make the mistake of trying to do videos for people that you see in chats all the time, you always got to remember there's always new people coming in. So that's why I'm redoing my angelfish stuff, is because there's a bunch of new people coming in, and I haven't done angelfish stuff in quite a while because I always felt like I already said it. Why do I have to say it again? Well, the truth is Fever's right. There's new people coming through. You have to, get to them. So doing older video on stuff that you've already done, but this time you could do it with a little bit more knowledge that you've pulled in from editing and stuff to make it better,
And more experience with it.
Yeah, more experience with it, maybe. So
better cameras, better sound, everything.
Yeah, realizing, I forgot to say this, I forgot to say that on that video. Well, now's your opportunity. But it's hard to do still.
Well, what you do is you start doing fish room tours of, a tour of your fish room. And just film the tank. No voiceovers, no nothing. Just a silent video. Well, wait, somebody's already doing that.
Who would do that? Oh my God!
Yeah, at least I show the names of the fish and where they came from.
Yes, at least you do.
Well, and James, you've got an opportunity for some content because you're doing a complete reboot on your hobby.
Oh yeah. And that is part of why these are still here, is because I haven't filmed it, and I used to get so much into I'm just going to get it done and we'll talk about it on a live stream. No, I'm going to take these down and reset this. It'll probably be Monday because the missus is off tomorrow and the next day. But I'm not messing with them until I actually take the time to film it and go through this is the process I'm doing, and this is how I'm doing it, what I'm doing it, and all of that stuff. So
I think that's a good idea.
I am so bad at that. So bad.
And any mistakes that you made from the last one that you can correct in this one.
Yeah.
So I'm hesitant to talk about this because I feel like it's something that's gonna end up taking over YouTube at some point. Well, it's already taken over most of YouTube, but hasn't really hit the aquarium keeping genre. But I feel like it's going to. MC probably saw it. MC, did you see that little jokey one that I did? The voiceover thing that I did? It was comical.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so there's so much AI stuff out there, and generally I'm against it because I feel like I don't watch stuff that's impersonal. But I did an AI driven video where I typed in everything I wanted to say, like everything. I typed in everything, and it did a voiceover thing, and it had like a cool voice thing. I don't have a cool voice, you know what I mean? But I don't have one of those voices. But it came out with this, and all I did was act like, what, you talking to me? I didn't say a word through the whole video. It was a short video. It was like 3 to 5 minutes. I can't remember.
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
Yeah, but you can give the specifics. You can give how to care for this, but you just type it out.
Yeah,
and
well, all
it'll-
you did was sit
it'll
in there
stretch
and nod your head, and
I just nod my head. Like, you know, I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm afraid of it because I'm afraid that will take over my channel if I continue with it, because it was a lot of fun and easy to do. But what I'm saying is for people out there who want to do content and can figure out the whole AI thing, there is a place for it. But I'm afraid that it's going to get carried away. You know what I mean? I feel like it's going to get carried away till it's just ridiculous. And it's coming, unfortunately. There's no way around it. As easy as I saw that video I did, how easy it was to do, it's already edited. Everything's ready to packaged, ready to go. Quick.
That's the tip of the iceberg when it comes to AI. I've played around with it a bit. You can have it write your scripts, and the better you know how to prompt it, the better you get back. So like at one point, I even went through, and I won't go into like full details, but you could go in and be like, I want a 15-minute YouTube video about 10 things every new fish keeper needs for the aquarium hobby. And then it goes, and it breaks it down, and it pops up a little intro, wave the camera. Hi, guys. Today we're going to show heater, blah, blah, blah. And like it would even add the little like script prompt cut scene. You should show this. You should film that. You should say it with this voice. And it's crazy. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're savvy enough to fiddle with it and you can't think of stuff, there is a place for AI to help you out. I'm like I said, I'm afraid of it because I don't want to lose that personal touch that I have. But I mean, maybe it's that personal touch that's
you
held
don't want
me
to
back.
lose
I
the
don't know.
human side of it.
Yeah, exactly. But there's going to be channels that's going to do it. You're going to see them, and you're going to see their subscribers grow ridiculously. It's going to happen. And we're going to sit here and complain about them. The people doing these AI videos, they suck. I know, I am. I'm doing it now, and they haven't even got here yet.
Now, that review that Alex did on that new AquaClear, that was a good video.
That was all AI. That was AI. The whole video was AI. Fathom did not have nothing to do with it except he just chat GPT, give me a good video on an AquaClear, and then that's what came out. Fathom's the one. I said it. I'm sticking to it.
Like I said, I'll see how that filter does in 6 months, whether it keeps its prime or not.
Right? Oh, like Empire was saying a minute ago, I know a lot of people are frustrated, both as viewers and as creators that are fielding questions in the chat, of seeing the same questions pop up. Well, what fish are good for a 20-gallon? What's this? But that's just the kind of the proof to the point, and the things that we see every day that show us that repetition from the creative side is not a bad thing, and that it is kind of needed because it is constantly, nobody wants to answer the question, what fish should I put in this 10-gallon, or what can go
What fish can go with this, and what fish can go with that.
Not like, we hear that all the time. Well, we hear that all the time because there's constantly new people coming in, and people every once in a while need to refresh our catalog for it, like you were saying. One
of the best ways.
There was somebody's stream I was in here a while back, and if they asked that, because somebody in the chat asked that question, they kicked them out of chat.
Hello,
I can't remember who it is.
You're live.
Am I on speaker?
You are on speaker.
Leave my name out of your mouth.
Can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Fathom said I gotta leave his name out of So one of the things I do, and I urge you guys, it helps with inspiration. If you're trying to like Jimmy P over there was like, I don't really know what to do. Name one fish in your arsenal you got behind you there, Jimmy. One that interests you right now. Who?
I got 5 bikers.
You got who vipers?
5 of them.
Bikers.
Oh, by sheer the shears. Okay, so
bikers.
I call them pikers too.
Bitchers.
I call them whatever. So all you got to do, Jimmy, is Google bikers or bikers. I mean, if you Google bikers, you're probably gonna get something completely different. But spell it bike, and then if you scroll down, it says people also asked. You know, so these people are actively asking these questions.
I've seen that before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe one of them will give you an inspiration, like, can bikers live with other fish? Well, you know, boom. You know, people are asking that question. You know.
Well, I've got
that's what I do.
Fish and I got angelfish and sebrums in with my biker.
Yeah, but that's what I do for when I feel stumped and I'm like, I really want to do a video on neon rosy barbs. But now, mind you, some fish are going to get more traction than others. Like bikers are a big Googled fish. It's one of my out of my catalog that gets a lot of play. Neon cherry barbs won't get as much views as. And I don't care what anybody. Listen. For me, this is my personal view. I understand that a lot of people's like, I don't care about the views. I just want to do a video. But when you do a video that starts getting traction on it, it does kind of soup you up to do another video. You know what I mean? I just hear so many people say that, like, I don't care about the subs or the views.
Those
I just
people are getting 49 views on their video.
Yeah, but when you get that one thing that works out where it's like, oh, I put a lot of work into this video and you got the return, it kind of gives you, it puts a little flame under your to do another video. So but the only way you can do it is keep picking at it, keep going at it, you know. So yeah.
So another thing that I've seen is kind of a missed opportunity, and I'm guilty of it as well, a lot of people are from the creator side, is not filming their problems. Like people might go, oh, I want to do a video, but I got to get this algae cleaned up before I show this tank. No, make a video on how you fix the algae, you know?
Yep.
I've got to fix this thing. This is happening. Okay, make a video on how you fixed it. This broke, and this is how I'm trying to fix it.
The ugly side, the one that people need help, real help on.
Because if you've been keeping fish for 3, 2, 5, 12, 20 years, and you're having the problem, chances are people knew the hobby was the problem.
Word up. That's true.
But a lot of times it's something real simple, and like some of them is just, oh, I'll go buy a fish that'll eat it, when all they get to do is maybe just a water change.
Yeah.
I fear a lot of times, or I don't necessarily fear. I think a lot of times us six right here, people in the chat, people who make content, get in this echo chamber, and we forget that there's people out there that, you know, where we was a long time ago, and things that we take for granted as simple fixes, to them it's not a simple fix.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
right.
To us it is. We're talking about it all the time with each other, experienced fish keepers, but there's other people out there who, you know, just got a fish tank a month ago and they're like, how come I got it and it's white all the time? It's just everything keeps dying and it's white. We all know that. You know, Simonia, it's the cycle. You never cycled it. No, we know that. We don't even think about it.
Bacteria bloom.
Yeah, but these people have these problems. So there's nothing. I always go to Caveman Aquatics. When people ask me if you could do it all over again, how would you do it? Now, mind you, I'm not saying I want to be Caveman Aquatics. What I'm saying is Caveman Aquatics, when he first came out, I thought his content was boring because I am an experienced fish keeper. I don't want to see a video on somebody gravel vacuum. I don't.
I can't watch the dude because the C-cam pushing, and he thinks he's just better than everybody.
Okay, I feel you on that, but I'm talking about when he first came out, he was doing videos on the simple things. And that's how he got big.
Yeah, before you got the whatever it is.
Sponsored. Yeah, I agree. But if I was starting out again, I would go simple. The things that people are asking.
You know, you would do the water changes that have the fish laying on their sides and
Yeah. You know.
Put a gallon of chemicals in it.
Does they do 80%, Mike?
although I have seen, he does like 90 to 98%.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere speaking.
I have seen discus though, or some places would drain the water all the way down with a discus or laying on the gravel and then fill them back up.
But I don't think those people tell you on those videos the only reason they could get away with that is because they have a big old biological filtration system that is full with beneficial bacteria that they can get away with doing that type of stuff.
Maybe.
I don't know. If you're gonna do a video like that where you got like a large 80% water change, tell them why it is you can do that. What about your tank setup allows you to do that without any problem? Because I do large water. I do water changes 50%, at least 50% every week. You know, and to be honest with you, I don't need to. It's like I said, I just feel like the fresh water makes me feel good inside. But I do at least 50% every week. And I haven't done a video on me doing water change on this, but one of the things I'll say is, yeah, I'll do a large water change, but I won't clean the filter. I'll do that next week or another time. You know, I'm not going to clean the filter and do a large water change like that. I think that's dangerous.
Jeff, I haven't watched a caveman video in probably 2 years.
I watch him every now and again. He's got some beautiful tanks.
Yeah,
I haven't. The last one I watched, I think, was when he killed that freaking stingray.
I remember that.
I haven't watched him. Like I said, you know, he worked hard for what he's getting. I don't have it's not my putting chemicals in a tank is not my forte. So I don't watch him, but you know, kudos to what if that's what he set out to do and that's what he got, good for him. It's just not my thing, so I don't really watch it. But again, when he started out boring with the boring subjects that we all take for granted, and look where it's got him. You know, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with doing boring videos on the boring subjects. It's hard to do as a creator, as a fish keeper. It's hard to do, but well, I do video. I like doing videos on fish food. I gotta hold myself back because I think it's a boring subject, but it's a subject that I'm excited about because I'm real big on fish food, feeding habits. But other than that, all the other boring stuff, I gotta fight myself to do. I gotta fight myself to talk about stuff, you know. The vibrating sound. There was a vibrating sound earlier.
When your phone went off, it totally went.
Oh yeah, there's something about when this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about when I put this on speaker, it makes a weird thing on there. I don't know what it is. Jeff, you shut your filthy mouth. Just take your beard and just put it and shove it in your mouth. Flip it up and joy of fish keeping.
Yeah, I did that until I killed off like half my Acara, and then I quit doing that.
Did you put them two canisters you finally cleaned up back in service, Whip?
I did. They're on the 130, the one I just showed you earlier, that had the mineral deposit problem.
Mm-hmm. Them hadn't been cleaned in what, 5 years?
Over 5 for sure. Because my last email was when they replaced them. I had the old Marine Lands, the C series, like the 360s and the 530s.
Yeah,
they suck so hard.
I just thrown 2 of them away today. 1 of each. Threw them in the garbage.
Yeah, they're garbage. So I contacted Marineland and I said, look, I've got 7 of them here that are leaking all over my floor. They told me, well, can you send us in a video of them leaking? And I took them out on my deck and I plugged them in. I let them run in a 20-gallon that I had out there. And then I turned the power off, and all of them leaked onto the, so I'm just recording the water leaking all over. He's like, I'll tell you what, I'll send you one of our prototype, which is now readily available. But back then it was a prototype of the MagnaFlow 360. And that thing, I said, how about you send me 2? Because
yeah, you need 2.
I literally lost 7 of them. and he's like, I might be able to pull off 2. So he did. Like I said, it was shortly after that the doors, I couldn't get the doors open anymore because the tank was crushing down. And they just sat under there. I couldn't access them, couldn't do nothing with them.
How'd you finally get them out?
I finally got the tank torn down.
Oh.
So this is the new stand. So they open again.
Dude, it's
that
crazy that
buddy of yours built for you.
Yeah, I had it made out of actual steel. This is the old. That's the old stand right there, and I can't show you anymore. But yeah, it was just basically there's a trimming on the top and trimming on the bottom with the door in the middle, and the tank weighs, with water and everything in it, it's over a ton. And it was just compressing those 2 boards down onto the
particle board.
Well, no, it's actual wood, but it was mashing it down. It's thin wood. Like you wouldn't believe that a 3/4 inch board could hold a ton, but it did. Mostly.
I think it's cool. I just threw those 2 away. Those exact 2 models. They've been outside rained on for like a year right now. And
yeah,
today
I probably gave away half a dozen of them.
Yep.
I gave away FX6s.
If we're going to be
everything.
real, that's what I did. I gave them to a guy that used them for parts.
I threw mine and dumped in the trash.
Yeah,
I gave them all. When I bought that guy's fish room out, I got a whole bunch of different canisters and sumps. I got rid of all the sumps, got rid of all the canisters.
I'll take a sump over a canister any day.
Nah,
I don't like I don't like canisters. I just don't.
What, buddy?
I don't.
They're my favorite because they're quiet, and you don't have to babysit them all the time.
I'm just not a fan of them.
Hang in the backs are my second favorite, but you got to constantly maintain those things. It's weekly.
I like hang on the backs. They're noisy, a lot of splashing, but they're pretty easy to. If you have to replace them, it's easy to do. If you have to maintenance them, it's easy to do. If you have when it's time to clean them, it's easy to do. Sponge filters always, dependable. The problem I have with canisters is I forget about them. They last. I go way too long without cleaning them, and then when it's time to clean them, it's just disgusting. It's just so bad.
Oh man!
And then
after 5 years, it was nasty.
And then you have to reprime it, and then I don't care who you are. I have never seen anybody deal with a canister filter and not get water splashing around. It's always some amount of water getting splashed around.
Isn't that true of all filters, though? I can't not get water if I'm doing my
not sponge.
No.
How do you get your sponge out without
with a bag?
Water all over?
Oh, I got that little tote right. Look, I'll show you right here.
I pull them out right into a trash can, and then go into my sink and wash them out.
I pick it up over the tank and then slide this right under it. And nothing at all.
They are by far and away my least favorite of the different types of filtration. They're terrible mechanical filtration, and they're ugly as hell.
They are ugly.
Yeah.
I'm running sponges, boxes, and under gravel. I got a few hang-on backs, but they're only for circulation. That's all they're for.
Yeah, they're good for circulation. So, like I said, I'm big on feeding and monitoring how much food and when and all that. So, I don't really have problems with clarity issues. You know what I mean? With sponge filters.
What's floating around?
Yeah, I really don't. Like, I'm doing big water changes every week, so I don't have problems like that. And it's just the way I do my fish. Not that it's better than anybody else's. It's just I don't have those problems because I do all that silly stuff. Where I hear people who don't do water changes for 6 months, and I get jealous, but I can't. Like after about 3 weeks, I'm pulling my eyebrow. That's all the hair I got. I pull that stuff out. But I just couldn't do it.
You gonna show us something, James? What you got going on?
Oh no, I was kind of trying to remember where my test strips were while we were talking.
Now, one of the
about.
box filters I actually got from James on one of his builds, where he used the extreme. Yeah, he took an extreme food canister and turned it into a box filter. I got the idea from him on that.
I remember
and
that.
And it works good.
But it was the same canisters. This is the little fry container thing.
Yeah.
And they work good.
Gentlemen, I'm going to drop down. I got to feed the fish, and then I have to hit the head or the hay or the head. And
I hope you hit the hay first. Hit the hay first before you hit the hay.
He'll be hitting the head four or five times during the night.
Oh, yeah. Gotta get that prostate checked out, Whip.
Yeah, right. I got the diabetes. All right, good talking to y'all.
Hey, thanks for coming up, Whip.
Take care, Whip.
Fuck you. Bye.
Should I say it, Mike?
Do it. Say it.
Say it, Jimmy.
I don't know what you're going to say.
You're going to say it anyway.
I thought he'd never leave.
Is that what you say when people leave?
Yeah, that's pretty much my thing, Funk. Yeah.
You're just a hateful, mean.
That's why he was laughing earlier.
Just an ornery little old guy.
Oh man!
But yeah, I used your idea on that, James, and it actually works pretty good.
Well, I appreciate it. I know it worked well for me, especially with like the gasket modification using the airlines and stuff like that. That's one of those like talking about videos and stuff you can watch. That's still the one that gets watched more than anything else I've done every single day and gets the most subscribers, every month. And I even tried to follow it up with a 1 year later.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't really do anything. But I definitely want to do more of kind of like same category of, well, I'm fixing this problem as well. I'm making this thing to do a thing that I need it to do. Now, how am I going to rig this up? So.
Fathom is making fun of Jimmy P.
That's right.
I've even modified one of them and used a power head on it, and it really worked good. If I needed to clean a tank up real quick.
So, all these tanks right here came with those integrative filtration things on the back.
Internal sump, basically.
Yeah, that's what it is. And I'll be honest with you, I love it because as far as heat goes, that little pump, it gets hot, and that water back there kind of swirls around that hot pump. So heaters aren't really an issue. Noise is not an issue because the pump is submerged in all that water. Cleaning is, I use that little tray, so cleaning is not an issue. I know it's not work. It ain't gonna work for every application, but I'm really digging these tanks for that reason. I really am.
Yeah.
And what brand are those? What brand of tank is that?
These are all Innovative Marine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now they're okay. So not to crap on Innovative Marine. But the idea behind these internal is just baffling. That's all it is. Like, they're all the same version. I'm not too happy with Innovative Marine because, first of all, the back of it And I'm sure. Well, I hope that different models have different spacings, but even this model should have had a little bit more room in the back because a grown man can't stick his hand down there and do something. You know.
Yeah, you're limited on what media.
Yeah. But it's like you can't reach down there and do anything and get anything. Like you know how they put the pumps and they put the suction cups, which I have no idea. I just ripped the suction cups off of them because they get suction cups to the bottom. Then you try to pull it out, and now you got a hose in your hand and the damn things down in the bottom. So it's not a whole lot of room for stick your hand and do stuff. So that's one thing I don't like. And Innovative Marine has this weird baffling where there's like a void that has no purpose. So I wouldn't necessarily go all out and get Innovative Marines. I'd find another one that maybe utilize all the space in there a little bit more wisely and maybe had some room that a grown man could stick his hand down there and do whatever they need to do. Because these are what, 15 nanos. And they're upwards of over $200.
Yeah, they're pricey.
And that's just with the stuff that really should, and that's without a top. That's without a caddy, a media caddy. They just have a spot where you can just randomly throw stuff in there, but it'll get clogged up. They have a media caddy, but you have to pay $50 for that. Like, you know, nah, I'm not. I don't really.
For that kind of money, it should come with that stuff.
I agree 100%. But
George.
What?
You sharded? Is it what?
No, where's George?
I'm right here.
Jeff was asking James, are you planning on starting live streaming again?
Yes, I am. I did one yesterday, which turned out better than
I can't see you, George.
We had a couple dozen people show up, and that was nice. Even had Corey come and hang out for the thing, so that was pretty cool. But,
James, your volume went way down, brother.
Yeah, your volume dropped way down.
It's like a connection or something. Is it time? You good? Okay.
Hello?
But anyway, George has never looked so good. Davey. You know what? I'm actually gonna head out too. And I'm GBP. If you say one word, I'm telling you.
Okay.
You better not say a word.
Won't.
You promise?
I won't.
See, I know you won't. I know you won't. Well, this guy, he looks just like the dude who did all the comics. Stan Lee. Talking all that crap.
Well, wait. He actually looks like two different people. Well, three.
Hear me now.
Jimmy.
Stan Lee
Don't
and Mr.
you dare,
Magoo.
George.
Yeah,
Mr.
have him take off
Magoo?
his
Oh,
glasses.
man. God.
So
Have him take off
apparently,
his glasses in your hat, and he's just like Mr. Magoo.
I hate the Mr. Magoo.
Really? Why?
I can
What about when people make
Stan Lee.
what about when people make fun of your age? Does that bother you?
Not at all.
So if I said
Not
your
at all.
social security
Nope.
number was 7, you wouldn't be upset.
Actually, it's 1.
Actually, it was it was 5, Mike. It was 5.
5.
What do you? Come on
Jimmy
now.
P is 0 because he's the one that was issuing them.
So what if I said you had an autographed Bible? You wouldn't be upset about that?
Oh no, JC was cool. I like him.
JC! All right, I'm out. And I'm gonna be watching Jimmy P. If you say something, I'm telling you, I'm gonna fire you on Google Earth. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do a whole AI series just on you. I'm gonna have you doing some really outlandish stuff. Later, y'all.
Publicity.
Take
Later.
it easy.
See you, fun. Damn, I thought he'd never leave. He said Jimmy couldn't say nothing.
Yeah. You're bailing Jimmy out.
Well, James, you figure it out?
I don't know. Is it working now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's a little
still
better.
you're still
No.
it's a little better, but you're still kind of low.
Okay, it's probably just going to be screwed. It's this weird thing with my phone. When somebody tries to call me through Facebook and I'm in any type of phone call or anything, it screws the volume completely up.
Yeah.
Like it'll completely disable my speakerphone and all
I
that.
hate that.
But I guess real quick before I go, yes, I am going to start streaming again. I haven't set a time for each week. Most of what you'll see initially will probably be right now. I have a chance to do it. The kids are being watched and I need to do something in the fish room, or I have a chance to get out to the fish room. So I'm going to do a stream, 30 minutes from now or an hour from now to start with, until I kind of find a place that would be a good spot to go every week.
Well, we're good. We're glad to see you back, James.
So
Absolutely, James. Great to see you.
I appreciate you all having me on and dealing with my shenanigans tonight. I'm gonna jump off here and go make sure the kids aren't strangling each other. And I will.
I'm more like dealing with our shenanigans.
Always welcome. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome up
for
anytime,
being here.
James.
There he goes. I'm not going to say it. Not to James. I'm not going to say it.
No.
No.
Hey, George, I heard you mention, gosh, an hour ago that the beer is getting warm, huh? I got to get over there.
Yeah, you've been threatening to come to my house.
Hey, George, the scotch is getting warm.
Well, I drink scotch room temperature, so it really doesn't matter.
So do I. So do I. Yeah. I'm actually not a big beer drinker at all, but I'll have one
All right.
once in a while.
So no, okay. I'm not a beer drinker myself either. So what are we having, scotch or are we having bourbon?
Yeah.
Tequila.
Or are you more of a gin guy?
Oh, God, I hate to say it. I'll drink anything. Did I say that? Oh my God. I probably drink. I drink more bourbon than scotch. I do.
We'd have to, okay, we'll have to save the Mad Dog and Thunderbird for Jimmy.
I've only had one experience on Thunderbird when I was younger.
That's not a good experience here.
It only
James,
takes one.
James, you're welcome, and you can come up anytime you want, buddy.
It's really nice to see him back.
100%.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Boy, that was a big surprise to me. Thank you. Thank
Not
you
me.
for that, Mike.
No, he was.
Oh,
whose live stream was he on recently? That was the first time I seen him in a long, long, long time.
He'd popped up in, I think, one of Corey's. And then he done a video yesterday, I think it was kind of explaining, what was going on, and kind of brought everybody up to date.
Oh, okay. I have to go look at it.
Yeah.
He did a live stream.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It was a live stream he done.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yep. It's good to see him back.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I just messaged him, say, "Hey, James, would you want to come up?" And he said, "Sure." So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Really. That was a really good surprise.
Well,
what's going on in your neck of the woods, George?
I'm actually not in my neck of the woods. I'm actually over here in Nevada. I'm in Las Vegas.
You're never.
He's going broke.
You are. Oh no.
Yep. Well, I'm going broke, but not because of the casinos.
Oh.
Oh, is that Jimmy?
Family?
Yeah, my daughter lives up here.
Family?
Yeah, my daughter lives up here. Yeah,
Curtis has a story about having a daughter. Oh yeah.
I got lots of stories about having daughters.
Oh yeah.
I got one too.
It costs you time and money sometimes.
I just found out the other day I'm going to be great grandpa.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm only grandpa.
Well, I haven't reached that.
I'm grandpa 3 times over.
Yeah.
And people call me old. What the hell?
They just have productive children. Come on, Jimmy.
I started late though. I started when I was 30. You know, I waited. I had a good time before I got married.
How you coming on your remodel there, Jimmy?
Not bad. As a matter of fact, on Tuesday, we got some people coming over, and Curtis knows about all my junk. I tell Curtis everything, you know. We're getting rid of about half of it on Tuesday, and the other half to be determined. But it's all over my front yard right now. We just pulled open the big. We got like a 4x6 window. I opened that whole thing up, and we just started throwing stuff out, throw it right out the window.
Sometimes that's the best way to do it.
How many tanks are you going to keep, Jimmy?
Oh, I kept all that. Yeah, I'm talking junk. You know,
Oh, okay.
Junk that you accumulate. Yeah, junk that you accumulate when you live a life. You know.
Yeah.
Furniture got ruined. Furniture. Go ahead.
No, I got to go through the same thing in the garage. I think there's still like two U-Haul boxes that were never opened when we moved to that house. So I told my wife, those are going in the trash. Don't even open them. Because if we haven't even looked at them in 3 years, it's stuff we don't need. And if we needed it, we probably replaced it already.
That's absolutely true. It is, and the cats, we had a cat problem, and the furniture was ruined, so out the window it went. We're just starting over. We're going to add a couch, a chair, whenever, and basically we're just kind of living in our hobby rooms. I'm back here and she's down the hall a little bit. We both have TVs and computers, and we're fine. So we'll get her done. But yeah, I haven't gotten rid of any fish or tanks or anything like that.
Man, Alex is coming for you today.
Yeah, well, the day he stops, I'll probably not be alive anymore. So
you'll be coming after him.
Pulling his toes at night.
Well, I would like to surprise him. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? No, I don't mind. Not at all.
Well, guys, we've been going, almost 2 hours?
2.5.
2.5 hours?
2.5 hours.
Yeah, this was a good one,
This was a long one. It's just good to have Ron come up and James and everybody else that come up.
For 2.5 hours, I'm surprised Curtis let us get a word in. He's been yakking all night long.
I know it. That's how he
does it. He does it every week. Same thing with Curtis. Same thing.
Surprised he wasn't more out from Vibe Stream last night.
I think I am. Everybody needs to get on Vibes just for the after show a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
Next thing you know,
Thank you, Jeff.
And you're still talking.
So I didn't have any problem with audio, video, anything?
Nope.
All right. That's good. Very good. Very good. I was kind of worried about that.
No, not on my end, you didn't.
Okay.
Gonna have a few hiccups here and there.
George, what's your next program? What day and time?
My next one, I don't know. I had the Hagens on, but since they had the baby, I told them I would reschedule it. So probably next weekend.
Okay. All right. I think I have to subscribe to you
Hagen.
again with my new account. So I'll get over there and do that. Okay.
I had to go subscribe to
Oh,
fishrooms.
thanks.
Kick me out.
Well, Mike, thank you for having this program every other week for guys like me who just like to, you know.
Well, I plan on once fall and winter gets here, I'll probably start going every Sunday, you know, 'cause more people will be indoors.
Okay.
That way.
All right. That'll work.
You know, as long as Curtis is up to it and anybody else who wants to come
Man,
up.
Curtis, this is becoming a full-time job for Curtis, the professional co-host.
He's like Ed McMahon. Yeah,
Ed
he's like Ed McMahon.
That's why I got to sit over here and drink. I got to catch up with Ed.
Well, it's how some of us kind of socialize with everybody else too.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one week. Yeah. There was 1 week. I don't remember who said it, but they're like, "You're on every day," and it was like, "No, I missed a day." It was one of those where everybody just say, "What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow?" I was just like, "Man."
I give him 2 weeks ahead of time.
Yeah.
Then remind him like 4 or 5 days before.
Yeah, right.
Wow. Well, we're going to try to get Curtis to go live here one of these days. Aren't we, Curtis?
Yeah, we might someday.
I thought he was going live now.
He's just like my little brother in real life, you know. Not my real life, bro. He's a jerk. I don't like him. But I can talk to Curtis like my little brother, and he takes it just like a little brother would. He just kind of ignores me all the time, you know.
Well, that's what I do with my brothers.
Oh my God. Well, thanks again, Mike. I appreciate it.
No problem. We'll have to do this again in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Mike, thanks for letting me up.
Hey, no problem, George.
You never look better, George.
I know.
Got
Too bad I can't say the same for you.
Oh man. I put that on a tee for you, didn't I? One of these days. One of these days. I'm going to come.
It better be soon, because I don't think you or I have too many more days.
Oh, come on. No.
Never know.
I don't know. I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but I plan on being around a while. All right. I don't know. Some people might not be pleased to hear that, but oh well.
You never know. I just lost a cousin who's the exact same age as me.
Well, yeah, I know that. I know that.
Three different cancers.
Well, God willing.
So you never know.
God willing.
You just never know.
No, you don't.
Okay, guys. I say we call her a night.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody.
All right, guys.
Thank everybody for coming up and everybody who showed up. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
All right.
Bye.
See you.